collide in Houston next. NRG Stadium in Houston, normally the home of the Houston Texans. Tonight, it's the home of the AdvoCare Texas Kickoff, presented by Hilton. Big crowd on hand for our matchup between the number 15 team in the country, the Sun Devils of Arizona State, and the Aggies of Texas A&M, who are just about ready to take the field, as you can hear. Welcome, everybody. Brad Nussler with my partner, Todd Blackledge. It doesn't take a coach a lot to get their team fired up when this is the matchup to start the season. Actually, 9 of the top 25 teams in the country come from either the SEC West or the Pac-12 South, where these two schools come from. So, makes for a good battle tonight.
Well, it does, and I love games like this. Obviously, it's fun for us as announcers. It's great for college football, but I think both coaches, even though you really want to win your opener, you like a game like this because it creates a sense of urgency in your preparation, in your summer training, and I think, regardless of the outcome, you're a better team for playing a game like this.
Well, it's supposed to be a neutral site. Doesn't sound like it right now. Here come the Aggies. They started off gangbusters a year ago. They won their first 5. They got to number 6 in the country, and then the wheels started to wobble. Arizona State won 10. They got a quarterback who waited his turn.
Yeah, and I love, you got to root for a guy like Mike Bercovici. He made the decision. He would rather stay and play 1 year where his heart was than to try to go somewhere else and play more. He played brilliantly as a backup in 3 starts against UCLA, USC, and Stanford a year ago, but now is his time. This is his team, and this is his moment to step up onto the center stage.
On the other side, a guy that took over mid-season last year and did really well. As I said, a budding superstar, and Kyle Allen. With more on that, third member of our team is Holly Rowe. Holly?
Well, the odd thing about Kyle Allen is that he is starting tonight for the Texas A&M Aggies, but he grew up just 20 miles away from Sun Devil Stadium in Scottsdale, Arizona. He told some people earlier this year, hey, listen, I didn't grow up in the South, so this is my rivalry game. But when I asked his coach, Kevin Sumlin, are you worried that he'll be too high, that this game will be too emotional playing his hometown team? He said, no, I had him address the team this week, and his message was essentially, it's not about me, let's just play together and focus. They like his calm leadership, even though he's got to be sky high with all his friends and family in the stands from Arizona.
There's a whole lot of maroon in the stands. The kickoff is next.
The 2015 AdvoCare Texas Kickoff is presented by Hilton.com, where you can book unbeatable prices on 12 unbeatable hotel brands. And in part by Gildan. Every thread counts. And Chick-fil-A. We didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich.
That'll get you ready for the AdvoCare Texas Kickoff, presented by Hilton. Todd Graham and Kevin Sumlin, they go back to their days at Tulsa and Houston, respectively. And now here they are in a matchup of the Pac-12 and the SEC. Both coaches in their 4th year. Both have won 28 games in the first 3.
And 2 opposite sides of the ball. Kevin Sumlin, an offensive guy. Todd Graham, he's a defensive specialist. So a real chess match between the 2 head coaches today.
We mentioned the Aggies went 8-5 last year after starting 5-0, then dropped 5 of their next 7. And meanwhile, Arizona State 6-3 in the conference, 10-3 overall. And back-to-back 10-win seasons for Arizona State. It only happened one other time in school history. A&M won the toss. They want the football. So the Sun Devils will kick.
Like I said, offensive-minded head coach. Let's take the ball.
Zane Gonzalez, one of the best kickers in the country, will tee it up. Justin Evans and Christian Kirk are back deep. And Kirk, a Scottsdale native, the #1 recruit out of the state of Arizona in his freshman season, waiting to get his hands on the football. This place is already rocking. Even though we're not on a college campus, here we go. Kirk will take a knee wisely. He was about 6 yards deep, had a notion. As we take a look at our Chick-fil-A impact players to start the game. Speedy Noyle not starting tonight, but I still think as a receiver and a return man, he's going to have a big impact. Josh Reynolds broke the school record for touchdown catches last year with 13, and a guy that really is all over the field as a rush linebacker. The leading returning tackler is Antonio Longino for the Sun Devils. So here comes the Aggies, their first snap from the 25-yard line.
What quarterback Kyle Allen is going to see tonight from Arizona State's defense is a steady diet of pressure. Todd Graham believes in making a quarterback uncomfortable just about every snap that he can.
Trey Carson with him in the backfield. They fake it to him, and on the roll, Allen looking to throw, and throws it over the Sun Devils bench wisely. So he got flushed out of the pocket immediately and brings up 2nd down and 10.
One of the things that Arizona State has been really good at since Todd Graham took over is creating negative plays. And as a quarterback, you have to know they're going to make some plays because of their aggressiveness, but they also leave themselves open for big plays.
On the ground this time. Allen picked up about 5, and he'll bring up 3rd down and 5. The Aggies last year, 41% of their 3rd down conversions. And they're going to have to earn all of this. It's closer to 3rd and 6. 4 wideouts. Allen in the gun. Mike Matthews, the center, directing traffic on that front wall. Allen's in trouble again. Got away from it. Throws deep sideline. Got a man, and he dropped it. Damian Ratley. That would have been a big gainer. Instead, it's punting time for Texas A&M.
When you bring pressure and you play man-to-man, you leave yourself vulnerable to one-on-one matchups. And Ratley had his man beat. The ball was perfectly thrown, and Ratley just not able to make the catch. A team like this forces you into one-on-one battles, whether it's pass blocking or receivers against defensive backs or linebackers. That time, they won the battle, but lost the ball.
You look behind Drew Kaiser, the punter, who gets it away. Gump Hayes waiting on it at the 25. Made the first man miss. Gets drilled as he got to the 35, maybe the 36-yard line. 46-yard kick and an 11-yard return. Mike Bercovici. Todd already talked about him, 5th-year senior. His first 2 starts in for the injured Kelly Taylor, and he put up big numbers, almost 1,000 yards against USC and UCLA.
Well, he can really throw it. Now, he's not the tallest quarterback. He's listed at 6'2". I'm not sure he's that tall or not, but he can really throw the football. He's a better pure passer than the guy that started for 3 years ahead of him in Taylor Kelly.
Good field position for the Sun Devils from their own 36. And out across the 40 to the 41 is Gump Hayes. Deshaun Hayes, actually, but everybody calls him Gump, and that's easier for us.
Well, the versatility that Gump Hayes and DJ Foster give them.
This is going to be a loss. Myles Garrett, who led this team in sacks last year as a freshman All-American, with a big play there.
Well, this was supposed to be a very quick throw. Arizona State does not hold on to the ball very long, but there was good coverage downfield, and Bercovici had to eat the football.
We give you the impact players for Texas A&M on defense, but I can give you a hint. One of them just made that play.
Yeah, now this is where you really have to watch the 2 defensive ends, Hall and Myles Garrett, 2 new tackles for Arizona State.
Three wideouts to the right. That's where Berkovici's going on a quick slant. I don't think it's going to be enough for the first down. DJ Foster, last couple of years, a running back and a great one for them, and now has moved into the slot. And he's going to be short by about that much.
Oh, nice defensive stand by both teams to start the game. We mentioned Todd Graham, a defensive guy. John Chavis, the new defensive coordinator for Texas A&M. Happy to see that first stop by his unit.
Matt Hawk in to punt for Arizona State, and Christian Kirk, who wanted to run that first kickoff out of the end zone, back as the punt return man at the 10. The left-footed Hawk, and whistles before the play, flags down.
Prior to the snap, delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty. It's 4th down.
That's Reggie Smith, our referee tonight. So they'll back it up 5, and Hawk will do it again.
Well, this is one of the least penalized teams in college football, and that's not one that you want to take. Sometimes you take that penalty when you're just inside the 50 to give your punter more room, but they didn't want that penalty right there.
They were awful in punt return coverage and kickoff coverage a year ago. That's why they hired Sean Slocum as a special teams coordinator. This tallywagger will go down and bounce out of bounds. Not a great kick. Goes out around the 30, I think. Let's see where they spot it. It's going to end up being a better deal for the Aggies, that's for sure. They will spot it right around the 30. No score here early. Conference opponents, this one obviously, and then Ball State, Nevada, and Western Carolina. You say, well, that's not too bad. 9 games in the state of Texas. They don't have to leave until October 24th because they play Arkansas in Arlington and this game here. But SEC home games, Mississippi State, South Carolina, Alabama, and Auburn. But they got to play Alabama, Auburn, LSU, Ole Miss, and Arkansas. They're all in the top 25. And Mississippi State, by the way, was #1 in the country for a month last year. So that's not an easy schedule.
Well, I think this team's a little bit under the radar right now. I think they're better than people are giving them credit for. They're not ranked right now, but I think they're going to be a pretty good football team before it's all said and done.
From the 30, Carson got a couple. That's about it. Carson, a senior out of Texarkana, Texas.
You mentioned the leagues these two teams come from, the SEC West. If you want to win in that league, you better be able to run the football some and stop the run. And defending the run has been a problem for this team.
A&M last in the SEC the last 2 years in rushing defense, and last year they were 82nd in the country in rushing offense. On offense, 150 yards a game is not going to cut it.
No. So, you know, that's the change. There's John Chavis. They brought him in on defense to improve, and they brought Dave Christensen in as their new offensive line coach to bolster their running game as well.
Everybody has a look to the sideline on 3rd down and 4. And again, Carson comes up to talk to the offensive lineman. He and Allen drop back together. Here comes a blitz from the safety spot, and Allen down the middle, and he hit a receiver, Christian Kirk, who didn't hold it.
Well, that's the quarterback's fault, because Kirk had single coverage. That safety blitz came so late from Armand Perry that, you know, he had plenty of time to make an accurate throw, and he threw it behind the receiver. It was a crossing route against man coverage. That ball has to be in front of Christian Kirk. Kirk might still be running if he throws it in the right spot.
By the way, there's Sam Miller, the 12th man, making his 27th start as the 12th man, which is a big deal for Texas A&M football team. What a kick. Made it to the end zone, though. Drew Kaiser blasted that one a little bit too far. He was heading to the corner. A 64-yard punt, but they'll bring it out of the end zone, and the Sun Devils will have it when we come back.
The 2015 AdvoCare Texas Kickoff, brought to you by AdvoCare. We build champions. And Buick, proud partner of the NCAA.
Now, Todd Graham, before every game, apparently has to have a hot dog, and he sends guys out to find him. You either buy one in the concession stand, or you go out in a crowd and go to somebody that's out with a grill. So I guess that's a pregame meal and a pregame superstition all in one full spell swoop.
Yeah.
His Sun Devils from the 20. Berkovici, the quick toss, a little bit low, but got it out to Hayes, and Hayes only got about a yard out of the deal.
Nice tackle by Justin Evans. He's a guy who's kind of solidified the back end of this defense so far in August. He's a junior college transfer. Played at Mississippi Gulf Coast College, a physical safety at 6'1", 195.
Here's the best run so far by Demario Richard. Deshaun Hall made the tackle. Sun Devils were comfortable enough with Demario Richard and Kalen Balaj to move DJ Foster from the tailback spot to the slot receiver. So they like what they've got in the backfield. They're missing one of those ingredients tonight, though. We'll give you more on that in a second. Third down. This is the fourth possession between the two teams. We've had all 3 and outs. Unless the Sun Devils pick up a first down, we'll have another one here. Berkovici, quick slant, and it is a first down. Across the 30 to the 31 to DJ Foster. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, guys, a very unfortunate situation for Arizona State. Their key big-time running back, Kalen Balaj, came here on the trip with them but got sick. It was contagious, so they've had to send him home. They'll miss him not at running back but also defensive end.
Throw a little high, but handled nicely by Gump Hayes. And Hayes out to the 35-yard line. If you're waiting for a huddle, you're going to be waiting until tomorrow, by the way.
Yeah, neither team enjoys the huddle very often.
We've done more huddling up here in the booth in the last 2 hours than these guys will the entire game.
Both these teams, a similar philosophy. Spread a defense out, throw the ball out quickly, and see if they can make tackles in space. 2 plays in a row, Justin Evans has done just that for Texas A&M.
They stack their receivers to the left, but they'll keep this on the ground. And had he kept his footing, Demario Richard might have had a big one.
Boy, you're not kidding. They over pursued the play. Nice lead block by Cody Cole, the tight end, number 83.
Another third down and 3. They converted the last one. No way this time. Myles Garrett and company have got him all wrapped up for a loss.
Yeah, Myles Garrett did a nice job on an inside charge. Watch the defensive end charge inside and just bottled the play up. And then he got help. Good leverage by the Texas A&M defense that time.
Noel Ellis helped him from the secondary, and it forces a punt again for Matt Hawk. On a 4th and 2, Hawk set to kick away near his own 30. Kind of off the side of his foot.
It's 2 bad punts in a row.
Ooh, this one's worse, I think. Well, it might get a better roll, and it will go down to the 25-yard line. 8:09 remaining first quarter. No score here in Houston.
A defense like Arizona State, you've got to convert when you have big play opportunities. 3 third-down plays, 2 third-down plays. They weren't able to convert. The ball was not thrown in the right spot on that one. The ball was thrown perfectly on the first one, but 2 3-and-out drives for A&M that both could have been extended if you convert. When you play a team like this that pressures and plays man-to-man, it comes down to winning one-on-one battles. So far, A&M 0 for 2 in that category.
And unable to establish any ground game to help Kyle Allen at all. They're going to try Carson again. No, Allen keeps it, and he almost lost it. He lost yardage, but he also almost lost the football. Edmund Boateng was the first guy there.
Again, Arizona State bringing pressure from the wide side of the field, and that made it very difficult for Allen to do anything once he pulled that ball out.
They've been in long yardage situations this whole quarter. This time, Carson's got something working. Nice cutback run and some power to get it to within 3rd and 2.
Here's where you need a conversion. You've got some big receivers, physical guys. Ricky Seals-Jones.
Carson again. First down. Just when I said they didn't have any ground game established, he rips off 9 and then 7 more.
Running behind their center, Mike Matthews, the leader up front. Great lineage, offensive line lineage in his family.
Well, that's no kidding. Allen throws out in the flat. This is Kirk. Christian Kirk gets his first touch on a reception. The freshman out of Scottsdale, Arizona. You know, his heart's pumping, playing against his home state team.
When we talked to Todd Graham, the one thing he mentioned about this offense that you have to really be careful with, especially with a pressure defense, is their vertical passing game. That's something that Kevin Sumlin very good at.
2nd down and 8. And this time Carson's met in the backfield and lost a yard. Salamo Fiso, the outside linebacker, made the hit.
Sometimes you blitz to pressure the quarterback, and sometimes you blitz to stuff the run. You crowd the line of scrimmage, and you bring up a 3rd down and tougher situation.
In their 8 wins, they were good. 5 losses, they only converted 30% of their 3rd downs. They've got a long one here again. Let's see if the Sun Devils bring the heat on 3rd down and 8. They're thinking about it off the corner, and here they come. Allen is going to go down. The pressure got to him. Sacked back at the 37-yard line.
Well, they pressed 3 of the receivers, and they doubled the 4th receiver. And Kyle Allen didn't have anywhere to go with the football. Excellent coverage downfield, and then the pocket collapsed because there were too many bodies to block.
And Lio Mowiuka made the stop on the inside, one of the defensive captains. Well, the last punt for Drew Kaiser went 64 yards. He's on pace, by the way, to break Shane Leckler's school record for career average. And Shane Leckler's been in the NFL for a long time. They bring the heat. He hits it a mile in the air. Gump Hayes says, is it going to come down? Well, it came down out of bounds at about the 11. That thing was about 2/3 of the way to the roof here at NRG Stadium. On the left who got hurt, the guy in the middle that got hurt, the guy on the left that went 3-0 at the end, and Braxton Miller moves to H-back for the Buckeyes. 8 o'clock on ESPN Monday night. Should be fun.
J.T. Barrett struggled in that game against Virginia Tech a year ago, and after that played about as well as you could play the position.
Bercovici gives it off, and on the corner and down the sideline is Demario Richard. There's their best run of the night. Pickup of 17.
He's a physical guy. Ran for 116 yards against a very rugged Utah defense last year. That was his best game. Good blocking down the field. Again, Cody Cole, the tight end, kind of H-back guy, doing a nice job lead blocking on the play.
And the official's going to stop play here. I think it's to spot the ball in the right spot.
A&M calls their first charge timeout.
And Texas A&M with Arizona State going 1,000 miles an hour is going to call a quick timeout. We'll take a quick break as well. AP Top 10 rankings brought to you by Goodyear. Mentioned Ohio State, Virginia Tech on Monday night. TCU had trouble with Minnesota. Michigan State, once they got rolling, not too bad. Baylor and SMU, 5 touchdown passes for the new Baylor quarterback. Auburn, Louisville gave them a run at the Georgia Dome right to the end, pretty much. Georgia rolled big on Louisiana Monroe, and the rest of the games going on later. This is a number 15 team preseason wise in the country, Arizona State. Arizona from their division ranked number 22, UCLA number 13, and USC number 8 in the Pac-12 South. Bercovici gives it off in the backfield to Hayes, and he's dropped immediately. And it was Dalen Mack, and boy, they high on this kid, freshman defensive tackle.
Dalen Mack and Jarrett Johnson, the defensive end, both pursuing from the backside.
Dalen was considered a #1 recruit by ESPN anyway in the state of Texas. 6'1", 335, and as you can see, pretty quick.
Texas A&M trying to play their backup defensive lineman now, trying to keep legs fresh.
Hayes comes in motion to join Bercovici off play action. The throws out in the flat, complete to Richard. He's brought down at the 29 after a pickup of 5 by Josh Walker.
Another big 3rd down play. Neither team offensively having much success on 3rd down so far in the game. Arizona State 1 for 3, Texas A&M 1 for 4. This is where you got to look for DJ Foster, I think. See if you can get him the football.
Pistol set with Bercovici in front of Richard on 3rd down and 9.
Wow,
off the edge. Wow, is he coming in a hurry? And I'm talking about Myles Garrett.
See, he is so fast, and he anticipated the snap count.
Recovered by the offense.
He anticipated the snap count, very close to being offside, but watch how fast he jumps. There's no chance for the left tackle, Evan Goodman. He wasn't even out of his stance, and Garrett was past him on his way to the quarterback.
When you watched it live, I thought he was going to catch the snap. There's his numbers from a year ago, an SEC freshman record that he shattered that was Jadeveon Clowney's from South Carolina a few years ago.
See, that's why even though this is quote-unquote a neutral site, it's a home game for A&M, and that favors pass rushers like Myles Garrett, because when the crowd is going, those left tackle, right tackle don't hear it.
By the offense, 4th down.
Well, that was a fumble out of the hands of Bergavici and went forward to the 35, so they just moved the line of scrimmage a little bit. But it's 4th down.
As an offense, the snap count has to be a weapon. You have to be able to utilize your snap count to offset speed rushers like that.
On the field of a fumble is under further review.
All right, so they're going to take a look at this. Dave Dumas is our replay official. Bill Lamagna is with us up here in the booth. Our rules official. We'll take another look at it from the other side. And you see Garrett hammering the arm of Bergavici as the ball comes forward. And it was recovered by the offense. Yeah, I don't think he ever got a forward, did he? What do you think, Bill?
I think he just barely started the arm forward, and then he got hit, and it propelled it a little bit more forward.
Looks a little different from every angle. The one thing we know that number 15 has made a major impact tonight in this first quarter already, and I can see why he's a preseason first-team All-American. And a captain, by the way, voted by his teammates as a sophomore. 6'5", 262, they say, runs a 4.46 40. And again, Reggie Smith's on the headset to the guys in the booth.
Well, again, just back to the point, when you can't use a snap count because of crowd noise, and those tackles have to look in and watch the ball being snapped against a guy that fast, you are at a huge disadvantage. And that showed up on that play for sure.
I guess I should add that the only reason that we're waiting on this is where the line of scrimmage is going to be, because it was either a pass and it'll come back to a 4th and 9, or it'll be a fumble and it'll be 4th and about 3. Here's a call.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. 4th down.
So 4th down either way.
Clock will start on the ready for play.
And that means Matt Hawk will punt. And you look behind him, and Christian Kirk, the freshman, waits back at around the 15-yard line. He got into this one after 2 bad punts. A beauty. Kirk way back at the 5, fields it there, and a fair catch. Probably should have let it go. 60-yard punt, no return, deep in their own territory. A&M will have it on offense after we check in with Adnan Burke. Adnan. Wow, not good for Coach Riley. And what a play to win that game for BYU. So here's the worst starting field position for the Aggies, their own 6-yard line. Trey Carson and James White. We expected at some point they might both be in the backfield, and they are right now with Kyle Allen. And this is Carson, who got a couple, maybe 3.
Trey Carson, a transfer from Oregon. The other running back last year that was also a transfer, Brandon Williams from Oklahoma, is now the starting cornerback on defense. And a story that we'll have to develop a little bit more the next time A&M is on the other side of the ball.
Play action. Allen looking right and going deep down the sideline. And it's caught by Josh Reynolds. And that almost looked like Johnny Manziel to Mike Evans back in the day a few years ago.
Well, this is a case of having a 6'4" receiver going against a 6' cornerback. Harrington is a really good player, but he loses sight of the football when he turned to find the receiver, and Josh Reynolds is able to haul it in.
Biggest play of the game, pick up a 36 out to the 45. And now back to the ground, and this is James White. And White, a nice run off the left side for 8. Salamo Fiso got him down there. And again, the Aggies going as fast as the Sun Devils offensively. 2nd down and 2. White again up the middle, 1st down carry to the 43. And White is still down. That's about the only thing that stopped play so far. White, a sophomore out of Pearland, Texas. 2 nice carries, including that 1st down run, and now shaken up on the play.
We mentioned Brandon Williams now playing defense. They could use him if they need him. If there's something wrong here with James White, they can always use Brandon Williams back on offense.
Brandon might be the fastest guy on the team and one of the 4 best athletes, according to the coaching staff. And there's his numbers from a year ago. And I think it's as strange a thing as we've ever seen. He started 6 games at running back last year. I don't know. They go back to high school, and Holly, I think you checked this. I don't think he's ever played in the secondary.
Well, we looked at all of his college stats. I found 1 special teams tackle in his entire college career. We're not sure about at Royal High School. He was the best player on a team at a very tiny high school, but we can't confirm that he's ever played defense. But if he does move back over to offense tonight, guys, just keep in mind he has walked through some of their offense. Of course, he was a starter in 6 games last year, but he has not taken live hitting in offensive situations so far this fall camp.
Well, and here's the interesting thing, and this is what he bought into, what Kevin Sumlin told him in terms of being a prospect at the next level. At 6 foot 200 pounds, he's smallish for a running back, even though he has great speed. But at 6 foot 205 with that kind of speed, that's a big physical corner, and he projects a little bit better on that side of the ball. He bought into it, he went and did it, and not only did he do it and do it well, he's been a great leader, and he was voted a team defensive captain by his peers on the team. James going out under his own power. That's good to see. Kevin said when he talked to Brandon Williams, gave him that word and said, "What do you think?" He said, "Let's go. Where's Chief?" Meaning, where's the defensive coordinator, John Chavis? So there was no argument at all. He was ready to do it. Now, with that extra time waiting for James White, good chance to make sure you get a call here. Might be a time for a vertical shot off of play action. Ricky Seals-Jones, their biggest receiver at 6'5", was the motion man. They're going to go up the middle with Carson, and he got it to the 40. As we're under 2 minutes in the quarter, no score so far, but Texas A&M has a pretty good drive going and had to start this thing deep in their own territory. So on 2nd and 7 from the 40, Allen rolling to throw, firing deep middle's got his man. It's Kirk, the freshman, 1st down inside the 15. See, this is what a running game does for you. You pound away, then you throw play action, and you go for the big chunk plays on the crossing route. That time he had the ball out in front of Christian Kirk, and it ended up being a big completion. Down to the 12, 1st and 10. Quick throw out to Seals-Jones. And as I mentioned, he's their biggest receiver at 6'5", 240, and he's still not down. But he is inside the 10-yard line. You talk about the wide receiver depth that this team has. 5 guys coming back this season with over 29 catches. 4 receivers with 400 yards or more reception yards a year ago. That gives you a lot of versatility if you're a quarterback of where to go with the football. 2nd down and 7. The Aggies can get a 1st down at the 2-yard line. 85 yards so far in this drive. This is the 8th play. Allen got good protection, now running out of time. And trying to put the brakes on. Finally throws it away. Luckily did a spin move to get away from Longino and got it out the back of the end zone. Yeah, smart decision. He almost waited too long to do that. You know, sometimes the defense wins. Good coverage and good pressure. And Kyle Allen had to throw that football away. There's no question. Almost held on too long. There's his mom and dad. Mom's saying a little prayer there. She'll probably do that for the next 3 hours. That's what moms do. 3rd down and 7.
Again, Seals Jones, the big guy, in motion to the near side. Allen backpedaling, screen pass out to Carson down the sideline, and he got in. Touchdown. Ledge, I wasn't sure he had enough real estate over there.
Well, Jeremiah Stuckey, the backup left guard, was in there, and he didn't get a great block, but enough of a block to give Carson a little extra room to get it to the end zone.
Extra point coming up. Taylor Bertolette, who had some trouble 2 years ago with his extra points and then became just a kickoff man last year. So hopefully he's not thinking too hard about this. He missed 10 extra points in his career. But he is the man as both the kickoff and field goal specialist this season.
Watch Stuckey, the left guard right here. He's going to pull out in front of this screen. Speedy Noyle, number 2, is going to run his man off. Stuckey just needs to get a piece of this outside defender, and that's all it took for Trey Carson to get the ball to the end zone.
Trey Carson wasn't a big receiver last year. 9 catches for 78 yards and no touchdowns, so he's got to feel good about that. Getting his hands on one out of the backfield and taking it for the touchdown.
And good run pass balance. The effectiveness of their running game in that drive set up the play action pass and got him into a scoring drive.
Taylor Bertolette out of the hole of Connor McQueen. Oops. He got it, but not by much. A 94-yard drive to score first for A&M, 7-0. Celebrating its 11th year sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goals Net. Allstate makes contributions to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kicked, including that one by Bertolette a moment ago. To date, Allstate's contributed millions in scholarship funds. Brad Nessler, Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe, and our ESPN crew in our kickoff at the AdvoCare Texas kickoff here in Houston. And the Aggies, a very impressive drive. Took them just over 3 minutes. 9 plays, 94 yards, and a big play was Allen to Kirk, the freshman. The capper was to Carson, his tailback.
Yeah. He was 4 of 5 throwing on that drive and threw all 4 completions to 4 different receivers. So good job of spreading the football around and stressing that Arizona State defense.
Bertolette has got it teed up, set to kick away. Gump Hayes way back there at the goal line. And that's where Gump has got it at the 3. Hayes didn't make the 20. Great job by the special teams of Texas A&M. Sean Washington made the tackle on the special teams. Arizona State, let's look ahead in their season. Their non-conference opponents tonight, then Cal Poly and New Mexico. Their home games, USC, Colorado, Oregon, Washington, and their arch rivals Arizona. Their road games at UCLA, at Utah, that beat Michigan on the other night, Washington State, and Cal. Sometimes you just can't look ahead as a coach or a team, because if I just look at that, I don't care who wins, and I kind of cringe. Yeah. Neither one of these schedules is very easy. There's a couple teams in there you're supposed to beat. The rest of them could be question marks. Short pass, and out across the 25 is DJ Foster again.
Nice job by Foster. That wasn't a particularly well thrown ball. He made a nice adjustment to it. Had to kind of slow down and make the catch and then get upfield for a positive gain.
One big drive is all we've had through 15 minutes, and that drive belonged to the Aggies, and their cadets are happy at the end of one. Texas A&M 7, Arizona State nothing. In this, his 4th season. Right now they trail at the end of one by a touchdown.
Yeah, I think what they need to do offensively, starting here the second quarter, they got to try to stretch this A&M defense and challenge them down the field. Now, that being said, you got to make sure you block Myles Garrett as a pass rusher, but they're only averaging 4.4 yards per play. This is a more explosive offense. They're used to getting bigger plays down the field, and right now they just haven't been able to generate that. But I think they got to go try to attack down the field and challenge this A&M secondary a little bit, particularly maybe Brandon Williams, who's playing his first game as a starting cornerback.
The tight end switch sides to the left on 2nd down and 2. Bercovici under center on a sweep. DJ Foster, and Foster's got a first down. DJ showing his running back abilities, and that's why they love him in that position, because they can move him all over the place.
Yeah, very versatile. You know, you got to get him the football, find ways to get him the football, and you don't want him to just be strictly a receiver, because he has running back skills no matter where you get him the football.
This time he trots all the way out as the wide out to the right side. Led the team with over 1,000 yards a year ago, back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. They keep it on the ground. This is the guy that took his spots. Demario Richard only got a couple.
You know, we saw Oregon do a similar thing last year with Byron Marshall, who was a 1,000-yard rusher at running back. They knew they had Royce Freeman coming along, a young back, and they took Marshall and made him more of a wide receiver, a slot receiver, and it turned out to be very effective for them offensively as well.
2nd down and 8 at the 35. Bercovici trying to get everybody in the right spots. And sets his feet and throws out in the flat, bobbled and drops, and might want to get on the ball just in case. It's incomplete. Richard was the intended receiver.
See, that's where the stature or the height of the quarterback Bercovici came back to hurt him a little bit, because he had a man wide open in the flat. And if he's able to kind of get down on this throw and make an accurate throw, they got a big play. But he wasn't able to get the ball cleanly over the rush, and it fell incomplete, bringing up 3rd down and 8.
And when it brings up 3rd down, Mike, Bercovici's going, I thought this was a neutral site game. I can't hear.
Garrett's inside now instead of out.
Quick throw. Richard broke 1 tackle, but not the second. Only got to the 40. Pick up a 5. And it's going to be 4th down.
See, this time they took Myles Garrett and rushed him inside over the guard. Watch how quickly he gets to the quarterback. He gets right up into the face of Bercovici and forces the quick throw. It's complete, but short of the 1st down. Good job by John Chavis, moving his best pass rusher from outside to inside on that 3rd down play.
Matt Hawk's been a busy punter already in this first half. Christian Kirk, who had that big 26-yard reception on this touchdown drive previously for Texas A&M, is back at the 15.
Wow.
Kirk has got a shot at this one at the 21. Heading to the far sideline, looking for a block, and got a couple. 40, midfield, Christian Kirk, one guy to beat, and he's not going to get him. Touchdown, A&M, 79 yards. No wonder Jake Spavital, the offensive coordinator, told us we got to get it in his hands however we can.
Absolutely, and I thought he was a little conservative on his first couple punt returns. This time he caught it, he didn't go for the fair catch, and he used his skills, plus a couple good blocks, to make a huge play for the Aggies.
The Arizona native cruises to the end zone from 79 yards on the punt return.
You remember the opening kickoff, he wanted to return it from about 8 yards deep, and they talked him out of it. That time they turned him loose, and he made a huge play.
Bertolette for the point after. This one's right down the middle. Well, the guy that a lot of people consider the #1 recruit from the state of Arizona just bit his home state right in the backside. 79 yards for a touchdown, and the Aggies lead 14-0.
Well, that's Sean Slocum. Todd Graham excited to bring him in after an 8-year stint at Green Bay to fix their special teams. And one of the areas they really struggled with was covering punts a year ago, 114th in the country. That time, some bad angles on the punt coverage, a couple missed tackles, and a huge play for Texas A&M. And that name familiar to Texas A&M fans, his dad, R.C., a great legendary coach for the Aggies.
The winningest coach in Texas A&M history, and he's here tonight. So Texas A&M up 2 scores. High, shorter kick here. Gump Hayes under it at about the 3. And Gump gets plastered after he crossed the 25 out to about the 26-yard line as we get another update with Adnan. All right, Adnan, thanks. 2-touchdown lead here for A&M, and Sun Devils got to get something going with Mike Bercovici and company. Only 33 yards passing so far.
And because of that 2-touchdown lead, John Chavis choosing to bring all backups in that defensive line.
And they do a pretty good job on Hayes, who only got 2.
If you can defend the run, even in the day and age of spread offenses, teams like to run the football even though they spread you out. And if you can one-dimensionalize a team, you have the upper hand as a defense. And right now, John Chavis's defense has the upper hand because they've neutralized the Arizona State run game.
This time trying to sweep the side as Foster broke a tackle or 2 and got within 2 yards of the first down marker, picked up 6. You talked about changing guys on the front wall. They're missing Zaycoven Henderson, who would have been a backup tackle. He was suspended for 2 games right before the game. The announcement was made. Also missing A.J. Hilliard, a backup linebacker who would have seen a lot of action. Those 2 guys won't play this game or the next outing for A&M. So they're a little thinner in both spots. There's a tough run. Boy, Hayes had to put his head down and really lean in to pick up the first down. And we mentioned, you talk about lacking guys on the front wall.
Yeah.
As Julian Obioha, he's got a uni on, but no pads.
Yeah, and they were really excited what he was going to bring to the defense. He played outside. They moved him inside. He bulked up to 280, but he still has that quickness. He'll be back shortly, but just not able to play tonight. But he's a missing cog on the inside of this A&M defense.
He just got nicked up a little bit late in the week in practice. Bercovici, whoa, that was a dangerous throw. Trying to get it to Demario Richard, and Richard had Sean Washington draped all over him.
You know, I think it's worth going back to the other key guy that Arizona State is missing, and that's their other running back, Kalen Ballage, because not only is he a guy to give a break to Demario Richard, but he's a big physical back at 6'3", 220, and able to maybe pound it in there a little more physically, and they are without him tonight.
Again, the Sun Devils find themselves in a long yardage situation, 2nd down and 10. Look at Garrett in a track stance. His mom and sister were pretty good track athletes, too.
They're not going to get the play off.
No.
They tried to call timeout. I don't think they got it unless they awarded it to them.
Game prior to the expiration of the clock, Arizona State calls their first timeout.
That's a double whammy.
Yeah.
Get a penalty and have to use a timeout with 11:19 remaining in the first half. Number 15 team in the country struggling right now. A lot of maroon in here tonight to go with the goal of Arizona State, but it's been the Aggies fans that have had the most to cheer about. 14-0 with 11:19 to go in the half.
Very solid defensive performance so far by Texas A&M. Arizona State used to big plays, explosive plays. They've had 22 offensive plays here in the first half, only 1 for more than 10 yards.
On 2nd down and 10, Bercovici going right all the way, and it's slapped back almost in his face by Donovan Wilson.
Donovan Wilson was an unblocked rusher on the outside. Bercovici knew he was coming unblocked, but he just couldn't get the ball over his hands. Myles Garrett coming on the other side. He's getting help from the running back. You've got to try to give some help to Garrett, and that left nobody to pick up the other side.
The tackle, the guard, and the running back trying to handle number 15. Triple teamed on that play. 3rd and 10. And here comes the Aggie noise again. Bercovici looked like he wanted to play action. Now throws and completed it. Short of the first down, I think.
Yeah, Devontae Harris in coverage over there. Made a nice, sure tackle. Short of the first down.
It looked like he either wanted to hand it off or play action, and none of that worked.
I think it was a little bit of a broken play. It was a good idea, I think, to move the quarterback. Mike Norvell, the offensive coordinator, trying to get Bercovici out of the pocket. That was a good move, but it looked like there was some miscommunication on the action to get the quarterback outside.
There was a little bit of hesitation, as if they were thinking about going on 4th and 1, but here comes the punting unit again. And Christian Kirk took the last one, 79 yards to the house. This one an end over end high kick that he'll have to, well, he did fair catch it. I didn't see the fair catch, but he did at the 18-yard line. Up 2 touchdowns, A&M offensively when we come back. He said, we're not starting a title defense. We just want to go win another one. At any rate, #1 Ohio State and Virginia Tech, the team that was the only one to beat them last year, coming up Monday night, 8 o'clock on ESPN. That brings us to our AdvoCare trivia question. Who's the last AP #1 ranked team to lose a season opener to an unranked opponent, which is what would happen if that happened again in Blacksburg on Monday night? We'll give you the answer later. 18-yard line, the starting point now for Kyle Allen and the Aggies.
One of the things that Arizona State has done very well under Todd Graham, particularly well last year, is turn the ball over on opposing offenses. They were plus 14 a year ago. They could use one now.
Allen steps up nicely in the pocket. They almost got the interception off the ricochet. Damian Ratley, the ball was a little high but catchable.
When you look at these two teams last year, Arizona State was 10-2, Texas A&M was 8-5. They both had similar numbers offensively, rushing and passing. The biggest difference, Arizona State was plus 14, Texas A&M -7 on the turnover ratio. That would have been huge. They got to get their offense a short field to work with here.
Was so close right there on a catchable ball. At any rate, here comes the house on short 2nd down and 10, and Ricky Seals-Jones makes the catch, pick up a 5, and it's 3rd down and 5. They just like to get off the field right now, this defense.
Yeah.
Give it back to their offense. It was the other thing Todd was talking about. 105th in the country for the Aggies in turnover margin. They got about 8 guys up defensively on the line of scrimmage. Kyle Allen knows that he's got to get rid of it in a hurry, and the ball is out. There's the turnover, and going down on a fumble recovery inside the 5, Demetrius Cherry.
Well, that's on Kyle Allen. You got to take care of the football. You know that that's what this team lives on. You've had the upper hand in the game. You've had the field position edge. You can't be careless with the football. And Kyle Allen is just too loose with the football. Christian Sam on the rush knocks it out. And Arizona State comes away with it, Demetrius Cherry. But that's Kyle Allen not taking care of the football in a critical part of the field.
And it's going to set the Sun Devils offense up 1st and goal inside the 4. Big play that Todd called for 2 snaps ago, and there they got it, and now they're in the best position to score that they've been so far tonight. 3 seasons, 90 forced turnovers under Todd Graham, and that leads to a lot of points. 417. Bercovici, quick throw, tight end, touchdown, Cody Cole.
Nice poise by Bercovici, because that play clock was running down. He knew it. He was trying to get the center to hurry up and snap it. Nick Kelly snapped it with 1 second left on the play clock, and they got the touchdown throw.
Talk about changing the complexion of a game with 1 turnover. First touchdown pass of the season for Mike Bercovici.
Well, they caught Justin Evans, the junior college safety. He just kind of froze for a second. Cody Cole ran right by him for the touchdown.
Zane Gonzalez in for the point after. And up and good.
Take a look at that touchdown. Our Expedia finding success. They found success. Justin Evans right here, the safety. He's going to freeze and get caught behind the tight end right away. Watch 14 just kind of freeze, and now he's beat. And that half a second of hesitation by Justin Evans cost his team a touchdown.
Well, a 4 seconds, 4 play scoring, 4 yard scoring drive, I should say.
So you can say, well, a team, you know, the ball bounces funny, you get turnovers, you're kind of lucky. But this is a team that ever since Todd Graham's been in Arizona State, that's been part of their MO. Force turnovers and then score and convert off those turnovers. That's been a big part of their success and why they've had back-to-back 10-win seasons. And that was something they needed desperately at that point in the game.
You know, 2 of the biggest games for Kyle Allen last year were at Auburn when he threw 4 touchdown passes, and then in the bowl win over West Virginia, threw for almost 300 yards and 4 touchdowns, but he also threw a pick 6 in that game.
Yeah.
So you said that one's on him. You just got to have a better control of the football, protect it better, and that cost 7 points for the Aggies. And he knows it, no doubt. So there's some life for the Sun Devil fans in this building now. This kick is deep. Christian Kirk, the freshman, who had the big punt return, trying to get something on this kick return, and he won't. Nice job by the Sun Devil special teams, bringing him down around the 12-yard line. We asked you the Aflac trivia question a few minutes ago.
Aflac.
Last time that a #1 ranked team lost its season opener to an unranked team. Back in 1981. The Badgers beat Michigan. Badgers playing Alabama down the road in Arlington tonight.
Well, that Ohio State game will be interesting. You know, Lane Stadium at night is not one of the easiest places to play.
Yep.
And that'll be a great environment. And Ohio State missing some key guys who are suspended for this first game,
including Joey Bosa. Here's a straight run by Carson for 4. Trey has one of the touchdowns tonight. And a little swing pass up the sideline.
one of the guys in there right now for Arizona State. We talked about young talented guy JoJo Wicker, #1, the defensive end, highly acclaimed freshman from Long Beach Poly High School in California, a starter on the defensive line as a freshman for Arizona State. And there he is on the tackle.
Along with Solano Fiso.
The defensive line coach for Arizona State is Jackie Shipp, who coached at Oklahoma for a long time, and he likened this youngster to Tommy Harris at Oklahoma. Said he's about the closest I've seen to Tommy Harris, a guy coming in right away, able to play at that kind of level.
And Tommy was a 2-time All-American in Soonerland and went on to be a #1 draft choice of the Chicago Bears. So that's pretty heady. And there's those two guys we're just talking about. 3rd down at 5. Here's a slip screen, and nothing but slipping down as Christian Kirk. He lost a yard as we check in with Holler.
Well, guys, Texas A&M struggling with some depth issues at running back. James White, their backup running back, has been worked on the sideline here on his lower back. They fitted him with a pad, but it does not look like he can return right now. We will see after the half. But so then Trey Carson has taken the load, but he had a problem with his helmet, ran to the sideline, so they had to put in Bryce Dolezal, #27. He is a little tiny guy, but he did a pretty good job on the blitz pickup there. But depth certainly creeping up.
All 5'9", 180 pounds of him. Kaiser to punt near his own goal line. And a nice kick will chase Gump Hayes to the near side of the 33. Flag down.
Yeah, they knocked the punter down. They've been very close to blocking a kick.
Let's see if it's roughing or running into. One would bring up another 4th down. One would give them a 1st down. So this is kind of an important call by Reggie Smith.
running into the kicker, defense number 5. The penalty is declined. First down.
Well, they got a 51-yard punt out of it, so they will take the ball down there in decent field position. Here's another look at the end of the punt. And
I'm not so sure it was 5. I think it was 30 that ran into him. Yeah. Nonetheless, Arizona State with very good field position. They had the very short field after the turnover the last possession, and this is excellent field position to start this possession.
At the 37, Bercovici, who's last time he touched the ball was a 4-yard touchdown pass to his tight end. Now he's got an opportunity to move his club down and tie the game up. Down the middle, boy, he threw a rocket right there. It was a little bit behind Devin Lucien, but Lucien adjusted well, made the catch as they spotted down around the 41-yard line.
Lucien is an experienced guy, a 5th-year senior, transferred from UCLA. Has given him some maturity in that wide receiving core.
Picked up 4, second down and 6. Now they try to sweep the right side, and Hayes loses his balance, courtesy of Claude George, who tripped him up as he got a yard or 2 out of it. It brings up a 3rd down.
Both teams 2 for 7 on 3rd downs. This is a big one for Arizona State right here. They've got momentum. You could tell their defense, the body language, that last stop. They need to get a conversion here and keep that momentum here to finish out the second quarter.
You got to think if DJ Foster's not in their sights a little bit with his running ability, even if they have to throw quick. Hayes in motion to the top. Whoa, a big jump again by Garrett. And he's the one that caused the sack, and a flag is down. We're going to have probably a holding on top of what number 15 just did again.
See, it's just too hard on 3rd down. Evan Goodman's got to get out of his stance a little bit sooner. Myles Garrett is just too fast on that edge. You either have to, you got to help that guy out if you can, whether with a back or an H-back.
Offense number 57. The penalty is declined. It's 4th down.
Evan Goodman can't handle Myles Garrett. I'm not sure there's many left tackles right now that can. This guy is like he's shot out of a cannon.
Well, I don't think you should have your hand on the ground. First of all, you better be in an up stance, because by the time you get that hand off the ground, Myles Garrett is by you. I mean, this is unfair with the crowd noise and with his speed and with no help.
Ooh, he's a handful.
Yeah.
Hawk to punt.
Last year there was a little bit of a question whether he played hard every play. He's playing hard every play tonight.
Christian Kirk on the punt return, takes it at the 19. This time they drill him after a short return. Bottled him up after about a 4-yard run back. 14-7, A&M in front, 6:19 till halftime. That little Aggies team up by a touchdown with 6:19 till halftime. Brad Nessler and Todd Blackledge. Ledge, I thought that last possession was an opportunity for Arizona State to get something going. They had the momentum, but it couldn't do anything offensively.
Yeah, and I think they're going to have to rethink when they throw the football or try to throw it downfield. I think if they wait till 3rd down, Myles Garrett is too big of a problem for them right now. I think they got to throw on earlier downs, but both defenses have done a great job of stopping the run of their opponent tonight and really one-dimensionalizing the offenses.
First down at the 22. Allen, little half roll and a throw, and that's going to be incomplete. Looked like it was going to be caught, but he didn't hold it. Ricky Seals-Jones couldn't control it on the sideline.
Both teams under 50 yards rushing here in the first half, and neither team really able to get too many big plays. I call explosive plays runs for 10 yards or more, passes for 20 yards or more. There haven't been very many on either side tonight.
Well, sure hasn't. 3 receivers to the top for Kyle Allen on 2nd down and 10. He'll keep it on the ground, though. This time they get a little bit from Trey Carson. JoJo Wicker wraps him up though, and it's going to bring up another third down.
And see, the reason both these teams have played well on third down is pressure. A&M is pressured with their defensive ends and not having to blitz as much. Arizona State, their MO is to bring extra guys and blitz the quarterback and play man coverage, and both philosophies have worked tonight.
Trying to keep or establish a drive on third down and 6, but a false start.
False start. Offense number 65. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Genesi, the left tackle, the guy that moved. And so that's going to make it harder on the Aggies. Third down in double digits, 11 to go.
Be interesting to see if Todd Graham dials up pressure here or shows pressure and drops into a zone and see if they can bait Kyle Allen into a bad throw.
Right now they're dropping. Or are they? Cat and mouse game going on with Kyle Allen, the middle linebacker, and here they do come with 2 extra rushers, and the throw, I don't think he was in bounds.
No.
He was out of bounds. Incomplete. Speedy Noyle.
Nice job by Carrington, knowing that he had the sideline as like an extra defender, and he just ran Speedy Noyle out of bounds. Good work on man coverage by Lloyd Carrington.
Texas A&M just had this thing in hand at 14-0, and then the fumble, the quick touchdown, bad field position. Again, they're going to be punting inside their own 10, and again, Gump Hayes probably will make a catch back around the 35. At least that's where he's standing. High, deep kick. He's going to have to take the fair catch back farther than that. About 10 yards deeper than where he was set up. Back at the 25. 54-yard kick by Drew Kaiser. Nice punt. Let's take a look at Royal Purple Focus on performance.
Well, it's Myles Garrett. I mean, he has been a handful tonight. His quickness, his anticipation of the snap count, and the crowd noise have just made him very difficult for Arizona State to deal with, particularly on third down, definite passing situations. He's also been effective on inside runs, and he's been very active here in the first half. He set a SEC freshman record last year with 11.5 sacks, playing well tonight.
Swing pass out in the flat, but only about a 2-yard gain before Hayes gets whacked by Justin Evans and company.
Who is going to make a big play for Arizona State? Only one explosive play so far in the ball game. Is it DJ Foster? See, last year was Jalen Strong, who's playing for these Houston Texans now, who play in this stadium on Sundays.
We saw him in the tunnel yesterday when we were over here at the stadium. And the screen pass did not look good. Richard didn't hold it.
No, it didn't look good, but they had it set up because Teofilo, the guard, was out in front, and there was some room to run if he could have made that connection. But here we are again, third down and long, loud noise, and Myles Garrett.
And Garrett's had a couple plays off. So a breather as he comes back out, and you know he's going to get in that track stance and bring it on third down and 7. Bercovici, 7 on the play clock. Trying to hear over the noise. Garrett coming again, but he got rid of it. He's got a man out there, and going to be interference. And Armani Watts, he got tangled up with Gump Hayes back there.
Texas A&M coming with pressure. It was man-to-man coverage. Armani Watts just got, as you said, got tangled up.
Holding defense number 23. 10-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
It was a corner route. It looked like he was going to get beat. A safety against a wide receiver. He just reached out and grabbed.
Yep.
You know, that's the instinctive move. Not a horrible penalty, because that might have been a huge play had he not grabbed the jersey.
Does give Arizona State a first down, obviously, at the 37.
See, this is where I think they have to try to throw the ball down the field on a first down play, where Myles Garrett and those defensive ends have to respect run or pass.
They've got a counter here, and Hayes just got drilled. Donovan Wilson's made a couple big plays tonight. Swatted a pass on a blitz, and that time a great open field tackle.
Good anticipation. He shot the gap, and he got right inside. See how low he got? He kind of tried to hide underneath those offensive linemen. They didn't see him, and he got in there for the tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
So long yardage again for the Sun Devils. Second down at 14. Here's a draw play. Hayes got maybe 3 as we check in with Holly.
Texas A&M without their starting middle linebacker right now. Josh Walker is on the sideline. It looks like he suffered some kind of a head or neck injury. He hasn't been able to even stand up. They tried to stand up and take him somewhere, and he had just collapsed on the bench. He's been holding his head in his hands, guys. He is not doing well on the sidelines. Obviously, they've got medical staff around looking at him right now, but it's a big deal because his backup, A.J. Hilliard, is suspended right now. Let's see who they go with in the middle here.
Right. Linebacking core was already thin. All the 3 starters all missed spring practice due to injuries, and now it's getting thinner here in the first half. Third down and 11.
See, they ran on first and second down when Myles Garrett and Deshaun Hall were on the sideline. Now it's third down. They bring those 2 guys back on the field after 2 plays of rest, and you almost have to expect pass here. So it's kind of playing into the hands right now of John Chavis and when he wants to pressure the quarterback.
So the timeout's the second taken by the Sun Devils as they are around Mike Norvell there, the offensive coordinator. Now the National League Central contenders clashing as the playoff race heats up. Andrew McCutcheon and the Pirates face the Cards and Matt Carpenter. Baseball tonight gets your coverage started in St. Louis, 7 o'clock. Then it's the Pirates and Cardinals at 8. And that's tomorrow night on ESPN. Kyler Murray, the highly touted freshman quarterback, never lost a high school game, is warming up right now for the Aggies.
And right now, Arizona State has a tight end, Raymond Epps, lined up outside the tackle to help on Myles Garrett.
They'll need all the help they can get. Third down and 11. They flare it out. Big collision. Demario Richard and Brandon Williams, and Brandon won it. They're short of the first down.
That was a good tackle by a guy who's just been playing on the defensive side of the ball for about a month.
Voted as a defensive captain by his teammates after being a running back his whole life. Here's a 4th and 1, and it looks like Todd Graham's going for this one. They were 10 out of 23 in 4th down conversions last year.
It looks like he's going to call a timeout. He's waiting for the clock to go down. I don't know if he's going to go for it, if he's just trying to run as much clock as he can.
Well, they only got 1 timeout left, so there it goes. And he'll talk to his troops, and we'll find out what he's going to do on 4th down and short, whether they kick or go for it. And we've got time to check in with Adnan Burke. All right, Adnan, we'll see you in 2 minutes and 25 seconds. They're taking Josh Walker to the locker room, and again, they're kind of attending, as Holly said, just holding his head in place. And he's got a headache, if nothing else.
Well, and you know, a new defensive system with John Chavis, and he coaches linebackers, and you bring him in, you think, okay, well, let's get everything installed in the spring. Well, the problem, 3 starting linebackers all missed spring practice with injuries, and A.J. Hilliard a backup. So they're really playing catch up at that position in this defense.
You said to John, do you know everybody's name? You're brand new. And he said, yeah, I have trouble with Josh Walker. I call him Josh when I'm happy. I call him Sean when I'm upset. I'm sure he'll check on him at halftime. Fair catch on the punt taken around the 15-yard line by Christian Kirk. That's the 12th total punt in the first half of this game.
Interesting. We wondered whether we would see Kyler Murray or not.
He's coming out.
A much celebrated recruit. Hard to argue with that record. 3 state championships.
Never lost.
Never lost.
Accounted for over 14,500 total yards and 186 touchdowns as a passer and a runner in his high school career.
He can throw it, but he is exceptionally fast. And I'm sure Arizona State is aware of that.
Here's his first snap. He'll give it off to Carson, who got out around the 18-yard line.
One of the ironies is that Kyler Murray played his high school ball at Allen, Texas High School, which is also where Todd Graham coached and made his name.
Carson again, no gain this time, all bottled up. And that brings up what looks like the first passing situation for the freshman.
Well, I would say that you would expect Arizona State to stay with their MO of pressuring, but when you pressure this guy, you better pressure with contain and under control because of his speed if he gets outside of the rush.
3rd down and 6. He gets Carson situated over to his left. Low snap. First throw or not. Nope. Going to take off. Here comes the speed. And there it shows. I think he got the first down. And Kevin Sumlin gave him an attaboy right at the end of that play.
See, you just can't simulate this. You can have scout team guys. You can put a running back as a scout team quarterback. But when you have a guy this fast, you can't simulate that speed, and you have to rush with different leverage and more control.
He picks up the first down at the 26. Now it's back to Carson. And Carson, a tough 3. Kevin Sumlin was telling us they use these GPS things on their pads at A&M's practices like some of the NFL teams use and some of the other teams in college football. And he says he runs about 21 miles an hour. Most NFL guys, if they're really fast, they run about 22 miles an hour. So he's fast. And there's his first throw, and it was in and out of the hands of the other freshman, Christian Kirk.
Nice play by Carrington. The ball was a little bit behind Kirk, and Carrington was able to get there quickly and dislodge the football.
So here's another 3rd down. The last time Kyler Murray picked it up with his feet. It's Kyle Allen, the starter, looking on.
The guy who's been quiet for A&M so far is Josh Reynolds. He's been a go-to guy last year.
That throw is low but caught, and it's Christian Kirk, freshman to freshman, first down Aggies.
So you find the matchup. That time they had Christian Kirk in the slot working against a safety, Simone. Simone, a very good player, the quarterback of the defense, but maybe not as skilled in man coverage as those corners.
So Murray picks up a first down by throwing after picking up one with his legs in his 1st and 10. Clock's winding down, though. We're going to be around 35 seconds on the snap. And now ran into his tailback, and the ball is out. Looked like he was going to fake it to Carson on a play action, and there's not a good mesh point there.
Well, they're going to be very lucky to get this back, if they get it back, because, yeah, another bad exchange in their own territory.
He just couldn't get out of the way of his tailback.
Yep.
And Tashawn Smallwood is shaken up on the play for Arizona State. That's why we have a stoppage in play. Smallwood, the starter at defensive end, sophomore out of Fresno. And there's Jake Spavital, the offensive coordinator, talking with his freshman quarterback. So when we return to play following the injury, it's going to be 2nd down and 16 with 17 seconds left in the half. Scott Van Pelt's taking his talents to midnight. Combination between Van Pelt and midnight seems like fun to me. On Monday after the Ohio State Virginia Tech game, stay tuned for Sports Center like you've never seen it before. Scott's got his premiere of his nightly Sports Center show weeknights at midnight, starting on Monday following the Hokies and the Buckeyes.
And the clock will start on the snap.
So the Aggies trying to get it lined up because at the snap the clock will start. 17 seconds remaining, and A&M's got 2 timeouts left. Taking his time, Kyler Murray. They bring the pressure. He runs away from it so far, and he runs away from everybody. And out of bounds in midfield. Whew, he's quick.
He's real quick. He's real quick, and because of that play, he now gives them a chance to maybe throw the ball towards the end zone if they want.
They're right at midfield. And he can show off his arm here in one of the next 2 plays. Going to go short, and that was a one-hopper. That would have given him even a better shot around the 41-yard line had he gotten it to Ricky Seals-Jones, who had nobody around him really. So now we got one toss coming up. Two receivers to each side. Speedy Noyle, Ricky Seals-Jones, Josh Reynolds, and Christian Kirk. That's the 4 guys that Kyler Murray will try to aim it towards.
A&M calls their second time out of the half.
And then they're going to talk about it here for a second with 5 seconds remaining. Now the last thing you want to do is give up what Nebraska gave up to BYU in their ball game.
Yeah.
A cheap touchdown here in the last play would not be good if you're Arizona State.
Well, Arizona State has kind of clawed their way back in this game thanks to the turnover. They almost had another turnover on the botched exchange with Kyler Murray. But that turnover got them the short field. They got the score. They got some momentum. And they'll get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. So Arizona State right back where they want to be in this football game.
Sun Devils have 3 safeties about 35 yards downfield.
Well, Arizona State with Mike Bercovici won the game against USC a year ago on a Hail Mary pass.
The trio of receivers is to the top, to the right side, and Murray rolls that way, and he's going to throw well short. Picked up and caught by Noyle, but he can't get away, and the half will end right there on a 17-yard completion. So at the break, Texas A&M leading 14-7. Holly will be along with Kevin Sumlin during our halftime as we send it back to the studio for the Buick halftime report at 9. Danny and Joey standing by. Both warming up, and that'll keep us all guessing until A&M gets the ball offensively. Right now they're set to kick it off. Taylor Bertolette will tee it up to start the second half.
Well, I think along with what Holly said, not only change the cadence if you're Mike Bercovici, I think if you're Mike Norvell, offensive coordinator, you change when you try to attack with your passing game to earlier downs or when Myles Garrett is on the sideline resting.
Let's see if Gump Hayes can get him something going from the goal line. And Hayes is only going to make it to about the 16. Great coverage again. That time Armani Watts, a starter in the secondary on the special teams, makes the stop. So Arizona State 33 total plays and only one of them has gone over 10 yards, and that's why, because A&M's defense has given up only 14.3 yards per drive tonight.
And you do that, number one, by stopping the run. When you one-dimensionalize an offense, then you dictate when they throw, and you have great pass rushers that can kind of pin their ears back and go get the quarterback. So that it's played to script so far in the ball game for A&M's defense.
Somebody jumped, I think, either a false start, and it is, and that makes matters worse.
False start. Offense number 57.
Evan Goodman's getting the yips over there working against Myles Garrett.
Well, and again,
I don't blame him.
The crowd noise, I mean, it sounds well and good to change your cadence, but it's hard to do against crowd noise. And again, this is a neutral site game, but a heavy Texas A&M crowd, and the noise is affecting Arizona State.
And a team that last year averaged only 32 yards in penalty yards per game. It's 1st and 15 here. Hayes only got about 3 of it back. Nice play on the corner by Devontae Harris. Harris, the son of Rod Harris, who's a punt returner and wide receiver for Jackie Sherrill at Texas A&M. So 2nd-generation star for the Aggies. Second down and 12. Pistol set here. Quick play action by Bercovici and fires to the far side, and what a nice play, knocked down by Nick Harvey. He got the left hand out there in front.
He got the left hand out in front, but I thought the right hand was on the back of the jersey. I think he might have gotten away with one here. He made a nice play, but let's see if the right hand, I thought the right hand had a hold of the jersey, and he made the play with the left hand.
I think you're right, partner.
Tight coverage nonetheless.
Now he's got the crowd fired up on 3rd down and long.
And Garrett is back inside, I think, now, instead of rushing from outside. So a change into protection right now at the line of scrimmage.
Basically the right defensive tackle right now. As you look at him bringing it from the inside, Bercovici steps up, and Hayes dropped it. Had he held on, it looked like he would at least get a 1st down. So first they start off with a false start after being only at the 16-yard line. They get a couple yards back. And now they're going to give A&M good field position for their first possession of the second half.
And this is where you're happy that Mike Bercovici is a 5th-year senior. He's a guy that's been in your program. He's not played a lot. He's not started a lot. But he's a mature young man. And things aren't going the way he anticipated. But there's a lot of football left to be played.
And they're still only down a touchdown. Hawk had to hurry that one. Kind of a knuckleball. Takes a great bounce, though. This is going to look great in the stat sheet for him after a kick that wasn't very pretty. Ends up going 56 yards.
Well, Nick Harvey, who made the play on 2nd down, almost got that punt on 4th down.
So it's Kyle Allen to start the 3rd quarter. The starter, who went 8 out of 15 with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I think you'll see, and we will see, mostly Kyle Allen here. I think that Kyler Murray, they want to get him in the game, but I think when they take on Ball State and Nevada the next 2 games after this, it'll be a little bit more suitable to work that freshman in.
Here comes a blitz. Nothing new about that. The throw, though, is picked off. Thrown right to Quishy Brown. So Kyle Allen, a very poor throw, and I don't know if he didn't see Brown or what, but it was right to him.
Well, they fooled Kyle Allen. It showed blitz, but they dropped in zone. Watch Quishy Brown. He's not playing man coverage. He's playing zone, and he's sitting right in the hole with his eyes on the quarterback. Kyle Allen felt the pressure. He read man-to-man. He threw a man route, and it was zone coverage. And another key turnover that gives Arizona State the short field for their offense.
So Allen fumbled that led to a touchdown. Now his interception at the 29-yard line gives the Sun Devil offense great life here.
I think you go right for a big play right here.
Foster in motion to the slot. Bercovici, great pressure, and he coughs it up, and A&M's got it back. Day Hall recovers it.
They put a tight end on that side to help, and there was no help. The tight end whiffs. Watch the left side. The tight end's going to just go right to the ground and miss. The tackle's late. Deshaun Hall's coming from the other side, and that pocket just collapsed.
And Hall and Jared Johnson are there on top of it.
We've talked about Myles Garrett, and he's been a force, but Deshaun Hall, a very similar athlete at 6'6", 260, with similar kind of speed and explosiveness.
They call him Day, and he just let us know, don't forget about me on the other side. So the Aggies get it right back with a 1st down for Kyle Allen. Again, big pressure, throws down the sideline and overshot his intended receiver, Josh Reynolds. They connected once in the first half on that kind of play. Again, neither team has used a huddle at all tonight. So right up to the line. Allen, who's missed his last 4 now, has a 2nd down and 10. Carson, nice blocking, even better run. Got 9.
Kind of a power sweep. Nick Kelly or Mike Matthews, the center, is not an oversized guy, but he's athletic. He was leading that play.
Quick throw in the flats to Kirk. Oh, and he tiptoed for the 1st down, or did he step out of bounds? He got it, didn't he? They put it right on the line. That was a pretty nifty 3-yard pickup as he caught it out in the flat behind the line of scrimmage. 1st down, A&M. You're going to see a lot of number 3 this year. You've already seen a lot from him tonight as he's a leading receiver and has a 79-yard punt return for a touchdown. Carson weaves his way, gets another good run down to the 48, picked up 5. You mentioned Dave Christensen earlier, former head coach at Wyoming, the offensive line coach and the running game coordinator, and they kind of changed the splits on how they run. A little wider splits. There's Dave for the A&M linemen, and right now it's starting to pay off. They're finding some holes for Trey Carson. On 2nd and 6, Allen throws a quick slant trying to get it to Kirk, and it was covered pretty well by Salamo Fiso, the outside linebacker.
Well, the difference between these two offensive lines is Jermaine Ifedi, who plays right tackle for Texas A&M, is a potential high draft pick at right tackle. They got a new left tackle. They've got other starters that are back. Arizona State has 2 brand new tackles starting tonight. Not the same situation for A&M.
Niederhofer, wide receiver, was the motion man. Comes a blitz, 3rd and 6. Allen goes down. The blitz pays off. Extra man there in the backfield, and Ami Latu is the guy that comes up with a sack.
Really nice play by Latu. Just a straight bull rush. He's going to run right by the guard. Good quickness off the ball. Rips that arm underneath and goes right to the quarterback. Nothing fancy about this pass rush. Just speed, and got that arm underneath and drove right back to the legs of the quarterback, Kyle Allen.
It looked like A&M had something going with their ground game, but it sputters to a halt here on 4th down and 15. Hayes will field this at the 7. Made the first man miss, but not the second, and got back around the 13-yard line. Texas A&M hanging on with 11:27 to go, 3rd quarter, by a touchdown. Stadium in Houston, where the Aggies have led throughout. We're up 14-0. Then a turnover led to a short touchdown pass by Arizona State, and now the Sun Devils have got it back again. But their field position has been lousy tonight, back at the 13. 20 possessions, 14 punts, 3 turnovers, 2 offensive touchdowns. Well, here comes a big play. Richard, best run of the night for him. DeMario Richard picks up 15.
Yep, nice job getting outside. The center, Ryan Kelly, leading the way. Number 50 gets a nice block, and they spring something on the perimeter.
Got it out to the 28-yard line, and they'll keep it in his hands. Got another good block on the edge. Marnie Watts knocked him out after a 4-yard pickup. Second down and 6 at the 32. And Bercovici again. He'll keep it this time.
Good decision.
And he got a first down.
They had a throw option off of that, but Lucien was covered, and a nice decision by Bercovici. After he pulls the football, he's looking to throw to Lucien. But that's covered, and he makes a nice smart move to run for the first down, and they got a little something going here with better field position.
At the 41. And now he comes up on play action, and that probably should have been caught by Lucien. He got a little bit turned around with a corner out there, but it was a catchable ball.
See, they came right back to the same play, and this time there was only one defender in man coverage. It was Brandon Williams, and he was beat. That wasn't a really well thrown ball. Throw that thing on the other shoulder where he doesn't have to turn against that single coverage.
Bercovici, in the 3 games he played in last year, wasn't afraid to go back to the same receiver on back-to-back plays. First of all, he thought about him on the previous play, ran, and then that time he did let it go. And Lucien couldn't handle it. Second down and 10 from the 41.
I just think you got to find a way to get DJ Foster to make a play.
Blitz off the corner. And it's a perfect play if he can get some blocking. Oh, but Hayes got leveled.
I'll tell
Justin
you what,
Evans.
This guy, Justin Evans, likes to hit. That's about the 3rd or 4th hit we've seen him make tonight. from his safety position. There are some guys that run to a tackle, and then there's other guys that run through a tackle. Justin Evans just ran through a tackle.
Man, junior college transfer out of Wiggins, Mississippi, and that was a collision. 3rd down and 10. So again, it's long yardage on 3rd down. Let's see if the Sun Devils can get it out across midfield. Bercovici out to Hayes, and he just flat dropped it.
Yeah, got to catch that. He's looking upfield. He's wanting to see where the green grass in front of him is, and he probably would have made the 1st down with his speed, but it's a matter of first things first. They had a good play call, a nice quick throw. Gump Hayes ran right by the rushing Myles Garrett, and they probably would have picked up the 1st down, but you got to convert the play.
So Hawk to punt again. Christian Kirk, they bottled up pretty well since that explosive punt return he had earlier in the 1st half. And it's punts like this, these end-over-end jobs that you have to fair catch. And Christian does around the 22-yard line. So we're switching quarterbacks again. When we come back, Kyler Murray will take the controls for Texas A&M.
The 2015 AdvoCare Texas Kickoff is presented by Hilton.com, where you can book unbeatable prices on 12 unbeatable hotel brands, and in part by Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy.
It almost looks like a full moon. You add that to Comic-Con going on here in Houston, and some weird things could happen tonight before it's over. 14-7 A&M. They'll start with their freshman quarterback at the 22-yard line.
And his first charge, I'm sure, from coordinator Jay Spavital is take care of the football,
which Kyle Allen has not done particularly well, with a fumble and an interception. Couple-yard gain for Trey Carson, who's been a workhorse tonight in that backfield. Kyle Allen on the sideline, over 1,300 yards and 16 touchdowns with 7 interceptions a year ago when he took over for Kenny Hill, who has since transferred to TCU. That was part of that 5-0 start, and everybody was all fired up about A&M. They got up to 6th in the country before they lost 5 of their next 7. They did rebound under Kyle Allen to win their bowl game, the Liberty Bowl, over West Virginia. So they ended up 8-5, but 6th in the SEC West, and they don't want to be 6th in the SEC West again. And that is one tough division of a conference, the SEC West. We talked about how many ranked teams are there. Murray somehow got away from the rush, and he throws a strike as well to Josh Reynolds. First of all, I didn't think he was going to get around the oncoming rush of Longino.
Well, Holly asked Todd Graham, what were you going to do? He only rushed 4, and he had a spy trying to keep his eye on Kyler Murray. It didn't help.
Carson's dropped for a loss by Ami Latu. Nice play by Latu, who's had a good job on that defensive front. That previous play, though, by Murray was 3rd and 9, and they got 21 yards on that pass play. I'll say one thing, he doesn't look overwhelmed by the moment, does he?
No, he really doesn't.
Straight up the gut, and nobody there to get him. Here's the speed. A little high step, and then a tiptoe out at the 36-yard line.
Yeah, I just think if you're Todd Graham and Keith Patterson, the defensive coordinator, you got to play this guy a little bit differently. You can't turn your back to this guy and run in man coverage. You better keep your eyes on him, and you better have good, solid rush lanes, because he is way faster than the guy that was in the game before him.
Just last year, he ran for almost 1,500 yards and 25 touchdowns as a high school senior. To go with almost 5,000 yards and 54 touchdown passes. He's shown a little bit of that here in his debut tonight. Extra rusher coming. He's going deep into double coverage and intercepted. There's his first mistake. And Jordan Simone with the interception.
Well, he locked on his receiver, and he was trying to go to Speedy Noyle, and all all he was looking at was the corner. He was not paying attention to Simone, the safety, who was coming over to help. See, his eyes never moved the safety. And Simone, who's a veteran guy, a transfer from Washington State, a key leader on this defense, read it the whole way. You have to use your eyes to hold the safety in a position to make that throw. And he didn't do it.
Pretty good hand fight going on between the corner and the wide receiver, but there's the first miscue of his young college football career, and it gives it back to Arizona State at the 12-yard line. Here's a jet sweep and goes nowhere. DJ Foster might have gotten a yard out of it. That's it.
Well, I think the story of this ball game so far has been how well the A&M defense has played, particularly in stopping the run. I mean, this is a team last year in their 5 losses. They gave up an average of 293 yards a game rushing. And they have virtually one-dimensionalized this Arizona State offense tonight.
John Chavis, a decade in the SEC at Tennessee and then LSU. And here in his first game as coordinator for the Aggies, and his defense just about forced another fumble there as Walker got to Bercovici.
That was coverage. I mean, Bercovici had time initially to make a play. There was nobody open. See, he's got time. And now they're going to decide if this was intentional grounding, just trying to get rid of the football.
Looked like Cody Cole was out there.
And threw the ball where there was no receiver. Intentional grounding. Offense number 2.
I kind of thought there was a receiver in the area.
I thought 83 Cody Cole, the tight end, was out there, but
I don't know if Bercovici saw him, but I thought there was a receiver in the area. He definitely did not leave the pocket.
Watch 83. First he's blocking, now he's releasing, or he's going to. Right there, he was, well, I don't know. I guess he was 5 yards away.
Yeah.
Good call. And now a bad situation for Arizona State. 3rd down and 16. Kind of thought they'd play it safe with this situation. Yeah. And ball's out anyway. A&M's got it. Noel Ellis on a fumble recovery.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. 1st and goal.
Well, Donovan Wilson is the first guy to make contact, and Deshaun Hall is going to come from behind. Watch Donovan Wilson, 6. He puts his head on the football, and then Day-Day is there to finish him up. And what looked like was a safe play, and let's set up a punt and play defense, turns into a disastrous turnover deep in Arizona State territory.
Noel Ellis, number 4, is the guy that came up with it. There's his dance as he'll head to the sideline as number 4 gave it back to his offense at the 4.
I'll tell you what, number 6, Donovan Wilson, the nickelback, has had a heck of a ball game tonight. He has been around the football.
Carson maybe got a yard out of that with forward progress.
This is where I think Kyler Murray becomes really, really dangerous for this A&M offense. His ability to run and have a run-pass option right here.
Carson, 2 tough yards. 3rd down and goal. And now you got to think they're going to put him in a situation where they roll him out and he's got the option. So I don't think they're going to get 2 more yards here. Just handing it off to Trey Carson. Well, they're going to try, but they only got to the line of scrimmage.
What a stand by Arizona State. Maybe a little conservative with Jake Spavital not wanting to put his quarterback in a bad situation, but what a job in a sudden change situation by this Arizona State defense. 3 plays and virtually didn't give up an inch.
And that brings out Taylor Bertolette for a field goal.
That is a win for Arizona State.
No
Even
doubt.
though they're behind on the scoreboard, that's a win to stop a touchdown.
Remember, Taylor Bertolette, he has been really good 2 years ago on long field goals at situations like this where he wasn't too great. A 19-yard attempt to try to make it a 2-score game. And it's perfect. Bertolette adds 3 more. Big stand by Arizona State, but still they're down 10. Stadium, where Taylor Bertolette, who just hit a 19-yard field goal to give his team a 2-score lead, is set to kick off to Deshaun Gump Hayes. There hasn't been much in the kick return area for Gump tonight. He's had a hard time getting to the 20. Bertolette's been great as a kicker in touchbacks. Coming in of his 78 career kickoffs, 42 were not returned, so he's got a big leg on kickoffs especially. This one high and deep. And Gump will take a knee. With that, we got time to check in with Adnan Burke. Adnan. That one going on in Arlington. This one in Houston. Battle between the SEC and the Pac-12, and the ranked team right now trailing by 10.
Interesting to see what Mike Norvell is going to come up with offensively to try to get something going. The offensive coordinator, one of the bright young guys in college football.
They'll run it up the middle, and maybe 3 yards for Demario Richard. Bercovici, in his 3 starts last year, we mentioned, had monster games against UCLA and USC, and tonight he's got 65 yards in the air.
And maybe his best win, even though he had better numbers against the 2 Los Angeles teams, the win over Stanford, maybe the most satisfying win for him and for the Arizona State team last year, a team that they'd had trouble beating because of their physical nature. They won a tough game against Stanford.
After the play, personal foul, late hit, defense, number 30. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
True freshman Justin Dunning at a White House, Texas, with the personal foul. That'll give a first down to the Sun Devils.
They're really high on him. A very athletic guy, just unnecessary.
Yeah.
You know, wasn't real harmful, but just unnecessary.
So that moves it out to the 42-yard line. There's a little bit of an opening, almost a face mask it looked like, as Richard brought down by Deshaun Hall.
Just trying to continue to create some balance. Deshaun Hall has a hold of the jersey.
On the inside of his neck, not his shoulder. And there's a nice slant and a good play down to the 32. One of the better passing plays of the night.
Because of the run, you know, because of a couple decent runs, you hold the linebackers, you put that pass rush on their heels a little bit, and then you throw it behind them on a quick throw.
Ledge, that's the biggest pass play of the night, 21 yards.
Mike Norvell, we mentioned, offensive coordinator. He's been with Todd Graham the last 8 seasons at Tulsa, Pitt, and now Arizona State. He was a GA along with Jake Spavital at Tulsa. Todd Graham was a head coach. Gus Malzahn, the Auburn head coach, was the offensive coordinator. All kind of part of that same coaching tree.
For a while, a lot of those guys lived in the same apartment. I'm sure they never talked defense. Lead blocker never really got in front of Richard that time, and a good play by Quaylen Cunningham, the outside linebacker, to make the hit. It brings up another third down. It's going to be third and about 8.
Where is DJ?
They got one big pass play, and they got one big penalty.
Where's DJ Foster? He's the guy that's got to make a play for him sooner or later.
Need to get to the 22-yard line for a first down. Looking left all the way. The quick shot, and it's Foster, as Todd called it. And they pick up 10 yards, 11 yards, and a first down.
He's just too big of a weapon for your offense to be so quiet in a game like this. Get him the football and get him engaged and let him make some plays. Last year, 21 plays over 20 yards or more, 65 plays of 10 yards or more. They'd take any of those they could get tonight.
This is only their second trip in the red zone, isn't it, tonight? One at the 4-yard line, now inside the 20. And Bercovici had to get rid of it because Cunningham, who's had another couple nice plays on this drive, was in his face.
Well, they have some fast guys on the edge. Texas A&M. I talked to John Chavis. You know, his philosophy is pretty simple. You stop the run with numbers, more people than they can block, and you rush the passer with speed. And that's pretty much been the formula tonight.
Garrett trying to catch his breath there. He's been a busy defensive end tonight. 2nd down and 10. All 3 wideouts to the left side for Bercovici. And now he's going to run. And he's going to pick up a 1st down and then some. Touchdown. Looked like a broken play. It's a 19-yard score.
Well, he was looking for the tight end, Cody Cole. And he had an unblocked guy who's already been harassing him quite a bit. Watch him freeze the linebacker with this little pump fake. He got him up in the air, and then he tucked the ball and ran right underneath him. Got a nice block from his tailback, Richard, and into the end zone.
That's the poise you were talking about a guy that's been around 5 years in the program.
Quaylen Cunningham has made a couple nice plays and pressured Bercovici. That time he got fooled with the fake.
Gonzalez straight up the middle with the extra points. So Arizona State finally got something going, and it was their senior quarterback who did it on the ground. 19-yard scoring run, and it's 17-14 A&M. Mike Bercovici's got Arizona State right back in the hunt, capping a 75-yard drive and 8 plays with his own number called, a 19-yard touchdown run.
You just keep chipping away. You know, a nice job of mixing the run and pass in that drive. It hasn't been easy, but I mentioned that win over Stanford last year. It wasn't flashy numbers. It was steady. It was keep pounding, keep grinding, and they find a way to win. And right now they found a way to get right back in the ballgame. And I go back to that stop by their defense, forcing a field goal after the turnover, holding it to a field goal. Now we got a 3-point game.
Talking about Stanford, how about them getting pushed around by Northwestern today?
Impressive win by Northwestern.
No doubt.
Very surprised with that.
Here's Gonzalez kick. It's deep. Christian Kirk wants his hands on it. The freshman will take it from a yard deep. And a nice return out to the 25 as DirecTV takes you inside the drive on that scoring run.
Well, let's go back and take a look. Now they're looking for the tight end, and there's going to be 2 defenders that go with the tight end. And what that's going to do is isolate Cunningham, the defensive end, and watch him go for the fake by Bercovici. When he leaves his feet, it's over. And Bercovici has an escort to the end zone with his tailback, Richard, and a huge play, the quarterback making it with his feet.
Well, we've got Kyler Murray in at quarterback. I don't know if that says something or there's going to be a controversy here before it's all over, but Kevin Sumlin's giving him the keys right now late in the 3rd quarter. And on the option pitch, he gets it out to Carson. And Carson with a stiff arm picked up 2 or maybe 3.
I think what Kevin Sumlin is figuring out or deciding is that we're going to have a hard time beating this defense just trying to throw and run normal plays. We have to have a different threat, and the quarterback run makes any defense play a little differently and play a little bit more honestly.
And Carson got it across the 30, where it's going to be 3rd down and about 3. Amilatu has had a nice job in that nose spot on the defensive line tonight for Arizona State. Made another tackle. Kyle Allen looking on with a helmet lifted up.
See a play like this. The difference between Kyle Allen and Kyler Murray is if things break down, this guy gives you a better chance of maybe making a play and converting with his speed and his athleticism.
He has thrown an interception, and he had a bad handoff attempt to Carson earlier, but this is a straight drop, and whoop, there he goes. And heading to the 1st down marker, and then some. He cuts it back, and a slide at the 42. Whoa.
See, this is no disrespect to Kyle Allen, but Kyle Allen's not going to make that play on 3rd down. When the protection breaks down, this guy can give you that play, and there are very few quarterbacks in college football that can do that.
And he got about 12 extra yards when it looked like he was going to go out of bounds, tight-roping that sideline. Here he is on 1st down, and he's going to go deep. Overshot everybody, intended for Speedy Noyle. Well, there was a Heisman Trophy guy here a couple years ago that did things like that with his legs. Johnny Manziel. And he was never as fast as this kid. Slippery maybe, but not this fast. And Johnny, if you're watching, I apologize, but I think you agree. Murray has 67 yards rushing. He's the leading rusher in the game right now. Carson, only one.
I just think it's interesting the way this game has unfolded, because in talking to Kevin Sumlin and Jake Spavital yesterday, I don't think they anticipated playing Kyler this much, because I think they felt the complexities of the pressure packages that Arizona State has might be too tough of an ask for their young quarterback on this stage. But they're realizing that his ability to run is the best weapon they have right now offensively.
And if he doesn't have an open man right here, he may run again. 3rd down and 9. They're bringing the house defensively. The throw's too far in front of Christian Kirk. And it's 4th down.
Had single coverage. Kirk had a step to the outside and just a little bit too far thrown out there by Kyler Murray.
Kyler knew it too. He's shaking his head. Would have been a 1st down. They're too far out for a field goal attempt, so it's Drew Kaiser in to punt.
Well, we saw another time.
Oh, that bounced at the goal line, didn't it?
It did. They're going to get good coverage, but they also ran into the punter. Kaiser is still down. Colton Gerhardt, number 37, is the guy that they ran, and I think this one might be roughing. Yep, personal foul.
Defense number 37, 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
That's a big one.
Timeout for an injured player.
We had a running into the kicker earlier that did not result in the 1st down. This is the personal foul roughing the kicker that does result in a 1st down.
That plant leg isn't supposed to go in that direction. Again, not only a really good punter, but on a pace to break the school record as being the best punter they've ever had. So while Drew Kaiser is taken to the sideline, his offense will take over at the 27-yard line.
Again, with this kind of field position after that play, after the penalty, a great opportunity right now to try to strike with a big play with Kyler Murray.
They empty the backfield, so he's going to do something with it. Run or pass. And it's run all the way. And not much. About a yard. He got drilled by Salamo Fiso.
Yeah, great tackle by Fiso. He had a beat on him, and he was going right for the legs. Didn't get fooled by any fake. Took him down for a short gain.
Salamo makes a lot of the calls and transfers a lot of information there defensively, and he just made a nice play to bring down Murray after a short gain. We played 3. Close game. A&M 17. Sun Devils 14. 4th quarter coming up. When not only the stadium but that entire part of town moves with you. But they had it rocking pretty good at NRG Stadium in between quarters. 4th quarter starts. Brad Nessler, Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe, and our ESPN crew. The Aggies up by 3. Kyler Murray throws complete. Ricky Seals-Jones drags some guys with him for 5.
Nice play by Armand Perry. Good wrap-up tackle. Brings up a 3rd down. Critical 3rd down in the ball game right here. Early 4th quarter. Again, this is where you have to be very disciplined in how you choose to rush Kyler Murray.
They're in field goal range, but they would much prefer to keep this drive alive and end up with a touchdown. Murray with 4 wide receivers, but they keep it on the ground straight up the middle to Carson, and he's not going to get there. Well, maybe. He got within a half yard. I'll give him that much. Kept his feet going. And it's 4th down and about a foot. Oh boy. Well, he got the first down.
That's good hard running by Carson. I mean, that is a running back that wanted it more than the defense.
Todd Graham's saying what I was saying.
Of a first down is under further review.
I don't think he got there.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the replay. That'll give us an idea. Needed to get to the 17. You tell me where his forward progress has stopped. He's done right there. Bill, what do you think?
Looks like he came up about a half a yard short. So they should reverse this back, put it a half yard short to be the next down.
There's another really good look from the sideline. As Todd said, you got to give him credit for keeping the wheels churning, but I think he's short. Todd Graham thinks likewise, and they're looking at it right now under review. And that's a critical review, because if it's a first down, that's great. If it's not, there's a decision to be made by that man whether to try to get a foot or two or kick a field goal. Here's a call.
After further review, the ball carrier was short by a half-yard line. It'll be 4th down, short of the 17, position 5.
So the offense is coming out, and Kevin Sumlin's going for it on 4th down and that much. 10th play of the drive and the biggest play of the drive, obviously. You got a quarterback that has great speed. You got Trey Carson, a 235-pound tailback who's been the workhorse all night. And you got Mike Matthews in that offensive front for the Aggies trying to dig in deep.
I think this is Carson downhill.
Carson down in the backfield.
Wow, Fiso. What a play.
Salamo Fiso makes the defensive play of the game.
Great anticipation on the snap count, and then watch the angle. No wasted motion. Right down the line of scrimmage, wraps up the legs, and throws them backwards. That is perfect timing on the snap count and the right angle to the ball carrier.
And the reaction, Kevin Sumlin. Wow. I think he even said, wow. Nobody got to the outside linebacker, making his 24th career start, a guy that's been around a lot and makes a huge play here in the 4th quarter. And now the ground game gets going for the Sun Devils. All the way out to the 39 is DeMario Richard.
Boy, I'll tell you what, nice lead block again by the fullback, Cody Cole. And good hard north-south running by DeMario Richard. He seems to be getting stronger as the game goes.
This time he goes down for a loss. Alonzo Williams, the tackle on the inside, made the stop.
Remember, as we mentioned, a couple key guys in that interior defensive front for A&M not here. Obioha out for injury. Henderson out by suspension. So they don't have the depth that they thought they might have to start this game.
And Josh Walker, the linebacker, the middle linebacker in the locker room, injured. Berkovici's going to get dragged down by Deshaun Hall, the other defensive end. John Chavis said, I've never had a pair this good. He's had a lot of really good players defensively at Tennessee and LSU. For him to say that, along with that guy, 10 and 15, and they're quite a pair to draw to.
Well, really, the guard, Westerman, had a hard job that time because the quarterback moved up in the pocket and kind of ran himself into a sack on that play.
And Aggies defense had only had 5 interceptions as a team a year ago. Would love one right here on 3rd down and 12. Berkovici throws out on the flat, going down to one knee to make the catch is Hayes, and they'll have to punt, just a short gain.
Boy, the athleticism of Myles Garrett is pretty impressive. They tried to cut him on this play. They were going to throw the ball quickly. Evan Goodman was going to cut block, take his legs out. He got the cut block, but Garrett hardly didn't slow down. Watch him after the cut, pops right back up off his left hand and still gets in the way of the quarterback.
Wow. Matt Hawk to punt. Christian Kirk back deep on the other end. And this one, they're going to clear everybody out. Takes a good roll again. Down around the 15-yard line. And it looks like Hawk, the punter, shaken up a little bit after that kick. Remember, A&M's punter is out with an injury right now.
A big development for Texas A&M. Quarterback Kyler Murray has injured his left hip. It appears to be a strain. As he threw the ball on the last series, he came over and has been worked on the sideline. He tried to take the field for this series, but they were working with him and talking to him. He wasn't sure if he could run, and so instead Kyle Allen has taken the field for Texas A&M. A big development heading into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and the looks of that replay, Holly, I don't know that he hurt it on that play. I think he just aggravated it. It might have been hurt on another play.
Kyle Allen zips it down the middle and throws a strikeout across the 30 to Josh Reynolds.
See, this is where you now get to see the moxie and the maturity of Kyle Allen. He got taken out of the game. Wasn't sure if he'd be back in the game or not, but now it's his game to win or lose right now, it appears.
At the 11-minute mark, first down at the 32. Allen pressured in the middle, throws to his safety valve and got it out to Josh Reynolds again. A pickup of 5.
And what he maybe doesn't have that Kyler Murray has in terms of speed and ability to create, he has the ability to stay in the pocket, know where everybody is, and spread the football around. Those are 2 good plays in a row, finding an open receiver.
Now second down and 5. Half roll to the left and a strike again, this time to Ricky Seals-Jones. I think he's about a yard shy. It's going to bring up 3rd and 1. And Simone, even on the previous play, was cramping up. It looked like when he was covering Josh Reynolds over there on the previous play, it looked like he limped a little bit after that play, and now play is halted as they stretch him out on the far side.
Nice teamwork by the training staffs of both teams there.
Yeah.
Pull up lame on the opponent's sideline. All's fair. Love and war here.
Speaking of war, going to be one Monday night in Blacksburg. Ohio State, #1 team in the country, unanimous #1 for the first time ever. Everybody voted for them, except maybe the defensive players for Virginia Tech. Zeke Elliott, was he pretty good the last 3 games of the year last year? We saw him go for 230 against Alabama in the Sugar, and then he was even better against Oregon in the national championship game, and that made Cordell Jones' job a lot easier.
Absolutely. That offensive line for Ohio State just got better and better as the season went on. They stayed healthy, and that was a greatly improved football team from start to finish, and that's a credit to Urban Meyer and his coaching staff.
We got a moment here before this 3rd down to check in with Adnan Virk back in the studios. Adnan. And we're still checking on Jordan Simone, the defensive captain in the secondary. And again, I got to think it's a cramping problem. First game of the season. Sometimes that happens. It's not like it's 100 degrees. It might have been 90 something outside today, but we're inside, so we're pretty comfortable actually.
And it's not like Arizona State's used to practicing in cold weather, because I was down there a week ago and it was about 109 at 8:30 in the morning. So yeah, they're used to the heat.
Well, it looked like it was going to be all Texas A&M in this game for a while, and Arizona State's that great defensive stop by Faso, and that's made it a ball game right now. So it's anybody's game here in the last quarter.
Yep, the defense has come up with some key stops. Bercovici has just kind of kept to the grind, and he's not gotten frustrated because they haven't made the big plays. Had the nice touchdown run, and we got a 3-point game now going in here to the final 10 minutes and 25 seconds.
And Simone coming off, and you could see him talking to his defensive teammates. That's why he's captain. He's telling them what to do before he gets back out there, so he can get back out there. Chad Adams, a sophomore, will take his spot in that safety position. Meanwhile, a big third down coming up for A&M. 3rd and 1. Trey Carson in the backfield with Kyle Allen. He gets the carry. And he got the first down with a third effort.
Great effort. And he was hitting the backfield. This looked like we were going to have a similar play to the one Fiso made in the last possession. Demetrius Cherry got penetration on the inside. He's the first to make contact. Carson protecting that football and fighting forward for the first down.
Came out at the very end, but he was already down at the 43. That's where it's first down for the Aggies. Under 10 to play. Throws complete. And that might be another first down to Damian Ratley on his leaping effort to get the first down at the 48-yard line. 47-yard line, I beg your pardon.
Well, and if Simone is out of the ball game, I would keep going at that side. I would go after his replacement as much as you can.
Kyle Allen 4 for 4 on this drive. That one's too high. Intended for Seals Jones. And Chad Adams was the guy that they were picking on, or trying to.
Yeah, you try to isolate him by your formation and go at him. I mean, that's smart football. Ricky Seals Jones is a tall receiver. Chad Adams 5'10". Just an overthrown ball that time.
So the first misfire of this drive by Kyle Allen, and it's 2nd down and 10. Carson straight up the middle, just bulldozing his way to the 31-yard line.
Boy, nice call. They're anticipating pass, so the pressure came from the outside by Arizona State. They were expecting to rush the passer, and they hit him and gashed him on an inside run with the quick handoff.
Now it's Allen keeping. Ooh, that's a nasty hit on a slide. I don't see if there comes a flag. Armand Perry. It's going to be a personal foul.
After the play, personal foul, late hit, defense, number 13. Happiness into the goal. First down.
Kyle Allen, by that slide, had given himself up.
He was totally sliding. There was no question that he was sliding, and there's no reason to make this hit.
And that takes it down in the red zone for the Aggies.
And again, for the last 3 years, Arizona State, the fewest penalty yards in college football, 3rd fewest behind only Navy and Air Force. A costly penalty right there against his defense.
They've had more than one tonight that's killing them. They've left some points out there on the 3 possessions in the red zone. A field goal, a touchdown, the last one loss on downs on a 4th down and a foot on that great play by Fiso. Allen flushed out of the pocket. He's going to run. He's going to head to the corner. He's going to score. Touchdown. Not the only guy that can run from the quarterback position, says Kyle Allen. I'll do this myself. 12-yard touchdown.
What poise by Kyle Allen, coming back in the ball game and making plays to give his team a bigger lead. That is really impressive.
Start the 25-second play clock.
Bertolet in for the point after. .8:32 remaining in the 4th quarter. And now it's a 10-point game again. 84-yard drive and 9 plays. He was almost perfect throwing the ball, even more perfect on a 12-yard touchdown run for Kyle Allen. And mom and dad in the stands saying, "That's my boy. That's my boy." Aggies by 10.
By AdvoCare, we build champions. And Chevrolet, find new roads.
Great crowd here in Houston. The reaction you can hear in the background is the Aggies, for the most part, the home state heroes here, even though it's supposed to be a neutral site game, have just taken a 10-point lead again with just 8:32 remaining. Taylor Bertolette set to kick. Gump Hayes is back deep for the Sun Devils. And Gump's not going to have a chance. Thought about it and took a knee as we take a look at tonight's Good Hands play brought to you by Allstate. This guy, they had it in the right hands, Mr. Blackledge.
Well, Kyle Allen did a great job, but watch Trey Carson, first of all, come over and get the block on the blitz. That's going to be the first key to the play. Kaysen gets the blitz. Now watch these two receivers. They're running their guys off. When you blitz and play man coverage, those defenders just run with receivers. They turn their back to the quarterback. Kyle Allen saw that and capitalized by getting in the end zone.
A&M's quarterbacks have 4 runs of over 10 yards tonight, including that 12-yard touchdown scamper. Now the pressure is on fifth-year senior Mike Bercovici. He throws a slant for 9 to DJ Foster. And time is going to become of the essence here pretty soon. They're going to have to make some big plays.
That's DJ Foster, I think, coming out of the ball game.
Yeah, it's limping to the sideline. And Bercovici keeps it and throws it in the dirt. Wanted to get it to Devin Lucien, and he had 2 guys on him, and Lucien was covered as well. So it's 3rd down. I don't think it's 2-down territory on this spot on the field, but they got to get this first down. Only 3 of 13 on their 3rd down conversions tonight. Play action, tough throw, but he got it to Cody Cole, the tight end, and it is a first down.
It wasn't pretty, but they got to reset the chains, which they absolutely needed. And you're right, they still need to. They got to attack this defense down the field a little bit and try to make a play.
Straight ahead on the run for 2, but that's going to use some clock. And even though they don't huddle, we're down to 7:44 and running.
215 total yards of offense for Arizona State tonight. Last year, this team averaged over 440 yards a game. Lots of big plays. Just have been hard to come by tonight against this revamped Texas A&M defense.
They average 37 points a game as well, and they're sitting on 14, and they need a bunch more. Bercovici will run with it, and Mike's got the first down as he slides at the 49-yard line.
Nice decision. Good heads-up play by Bercovici. We saw Kyle Allen make a heads-up play with the scramble, and now Bercovici. Eyes downfield. He's got that timing in his head. He knows he can't hold it too long with these defensive ends. Takes off and makes a nice play.
Some of the best plays of the night by both teams have been the quarterback running the football. First down at the 49. He's going to run it again. No, he's going to throw. And that should be a flag. Nope, guess not. Devontae Harris makes the play on Frederick Gamage.
Ball was thrown a little bit far to the inside. That looked like contact. Clearly, as the ball was in the air, that should have been pass interference.
Looked like a rodeo with roping a calf.
Not sure what they saw or didn't see on that one.
Bercovici screen pass. And that gets positive yardage. Nice job by Demario Richard avoiding the sideline and backpedaling his way for about 5 more yards. The bad news is the clock's running. And they've got 3rd down and 2. Last time they went to Cole, their tight end. He's in there on a wing right. Berkovici's going to try to get it himself, and he did. Tough run down close to the 39-yard line. We're going to be around 6 minutes on the next snap. First down at the Aggie 39. Low snap. Berkovici pressured from the outside, going deep finally, and got him down to the 6-yard line. Ellis Jefferson. Nick Harvey was covering, but not good enough. 34-yard pickup.
Well, Nick Harvey was beat, and then he didn't get his head around to find the football. And a nice job by Berkovici underthrowing that ball intentionally, and Harvey couldn't make a play.
First and goal at the Aggie 6. Berkovici calls his own number again and got to the 3. Myles Garrett collared him there. Second down and goal. We're at 5.5 minutes to play.
There's enough time. You've got to score twice. You want the touchdown here now that you're inside the 5, but you've got to score 2 times.
They bring in 2 backs as Mark Cosgrove has come in as a fullback with Demario Richard.
2 tight ends in as well. They haven't shown this set, and Kevin Sumlin wants a timeout.
A&M calls their first timeout of the half.
First timeout taken by A&M with 5:07 remaining. We'll take the break as well. Things getting interesting here in Houston. Becoming a very good one with just over 5 minutes to go, because the Sun Devils had moved it down to the Aggie 3-yard line with a second down and goal.
Texas A&M had to use a timeout. They had 13 guys on the field. It wasn't just the formation fooled them. They fooled themselves too. So a good timeout by Kevin Sumlin to get the right personnel on the field.
Mike Berkovici has come to life when they desperately needed him. The fifth-year seniors let him down to an opportunity to make this a field goal game and then get a touchdown. He rolls, throws, incomplete. Nice defensive play by Davante Harris.
Maybe a hair late on the throw by Berkovici, and that enabled Davante Harris to get a hand on the football.
A little wobbly as he was rolling to throw. Kevin Sumlin doing some body language out there, and that's 3rd and goal.
The only good thing for Arizona State on that incompletion is the clock stopped, so you're not fighting the clock on this play.
If they don't score a touchdown, it's going to be a big decision to be made. They're going to run it. They're not going to get a touchdown. They're not even going to get a yard. They lost yardage. Myles Garrett was the first guy there.
Boy, it looked like Berkovici could have kept this ball too, to the outside. They gave it to Richard. If he keeps it, he's got a lineman out leading in front, and he walks into the end zone. Arizona State going to go for the field goal, which I think you have to do because you have to score twice. But you see, he's got Cody Cole leading the play. Berkovici might have been able to pull that one for a touchdown.
There's just too much Myles Garrett tonight for Arizona State. A crucial 23-yard field goal for Zane Gonzalez. Should be a chip shot, and it is. So they needed 2 scores. They got the 3. Would have preferred the 7. And it's a 7-point game with 4:16 to go. NRG Stadium in Houston, where things have tightened considerably. Looked like all Texas A&M early. Arizona State just won't go away. And the 15th ranked team in the country did blow an opportunity on that last March. They had 1st and goal at the 6, and they had to settle for the field goal. But still a 1-score game, and the Aggies think the onside kick's coming here. It's not.
No way. No reason to.
They kick it out of the end zone anyway. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, guys, Kyle Allen has had such an interesting night. The kid from Arizona gets benched in the second half for the speedier Kyler Murray, who's a true freshman. And as I watched him carefully on the sidelines over here, he was very stoic. He never got too down, but he was sitting by himself frequently, being very quiet on the sideline. It's tough to sit there and watch maybe your job getting taken a little bit. But to his credit, he came right out. When they called his number, he was ready. He scored to put them up in this game. What a mental, interesting night for Kyle Allen, and he has handled it beautifully for the Aggies.
Well, right now he can ice it as mom and dad are looking on with 4:16 to go. If he can take him the length of the field and chew up some clock. Arizona State does have its full complement of timeouts. Allen pressured, steps up, throws just as he got to the line of scrimmage, and it's a pickup of 9, and he was very close to being over that line of scrimmage.
Well, and right now, and I couldn't agree with Holly more. I mean, the poise that he's shown, I actually think getting taken out of the game settled him down. And I looked at him on the sideline, and I didn't know if he'd be ready to come back in and play, but he's played much better since he was on the bench. But he's got to take care of the football first and foremost here.
Corner blitz, they throw out to that vacated spot to Christian Kirk. Kirk, great speed, cuts back inside of the 30. Christian Kirk's already scored once tonight. He's going to score again. Touchdown. Welcome to college football, Christian Kirk.
Wow.
66 yards and his second score of the night.
And credit Kyle Allen for reading the blitz off the slot and knowing there was a voided area there and getting the ball in the hands of Christian Kirk as quick as possible. Wow.
They got some pretty quick freshmen, don't they? Bertolette in for the point after, and again it goes back to a 2-touchdown advantage.
Here's what Kyle Allen's going to see. He's going to see that pressure coming. He gets out of the fake quickly and makes a nice accurate throw, and then one missed tackle, and this is just like the punt return again. Vision, speed, maneuverability. Christian Kirk is one special football player.
The Arizona connection. Allen, the #1 player in the state last year. Here's the #1 player in the state from this past year, and you can see why. Scottsdale connection against their home state. Yeah. Wow.
And you know, in the summer there was a little bit made of that. Kevin Sumlin was speaking at a luncheon in Houston and said, I'm sure that Todd Graham's going to be excited to come back to Texas after we went into Arizona and took the #1 player the last 2 years. He tried to play it off like it wasn't a shot, it wasn't that. But I'll tell you what, those two guys have stepped up and put Texas A&M in a great chance and a great situation to win the football game. Wow.
3:45 remaining. Bertolette to kick. This one is returnable for Gump Hayes from the 6. Broke a tackle at the 20, got out across the 30 to the 31. Christian Kirk out of Scottsdale, Arizona, as he made his presence felt in his first college football game. This was an electrifying punt return that covered 79 yards. He's their leading receiver, 6 catches for 106 yards. And then moments ago, what might be the backbreaker. Takes the swing pass, makes one man miss. Now turns on the jets and weaves his way with a little help from his friends. 66 yards for a touchdown. As we check in with Holly.
Well, Christian Kirk is a true freshman, but the coaches say he has been a true professional. Every single day, every meeting, he is taking copious notes. He's watching about 100 clips a day, trying to get better, learn the offense. And Jake Spavital said, I have not seen a true freshman like this. He is so mature. He wants to be a pro, and he has shown that with his work ethic before practice, after practice, and we're seeing it tonight in the game.
As a senior in high school last year, he rushed for 1,700 yards or very close to it and 25 scores. He caught 61 balls for almost 1,200 yards and 17 more touchdowns. And tonight he's done it both ways. A punt return and on that last pass. There was offside on the last kickoff, so we have to do it again. And we'll see if Gump Hayes can do better than around the 30-yard line on his last one. This one's from the goal line. And that's not going to work out so well. Didn't get to the 20. Nice job by Noel Ellis. Now, coming up Monday after the Ohio State-Virginia Tech game, stick around for SportsCenter, a SportsCenter like you've never seen before. SVP Scott Van Pelt taking his talents to midnights. His nightly SportsCenter show, weeknights at midnight on ESPN. I'm sure there'll be some laughs, some shenanigans, a lot of great sports, and that'll be fun following Ohio State and Virginia Tech on Monday night for the debut show. Well, they lost about 13 yards by having a second kickoff. Hidden yardage in games like that can count for a lot. But now time is of the essence with 3.5 to go. Berkovici's got to do something in a hurry. Got a lot of pressure and just threw it in the dirt near the linebacker. Jack Blount was the closest guy.
Well, Myles Garrett again, just off the edge quickly. He has just been almost unblockable tonight, whether it's on an inside move against the run. They've moved him inside to rush the passer. They've let him speed rush from the outside, and he has been a dominant force.
Berkovici on 2nd and 10 got around Garrett momentarily, and incomplete, and a flag. We're going to have, I guess, pass interference on Davante Harris. Ellis Jefferson was the intended receiver.
Is your flag in a good spot? Pass interference, defense number 1. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, Berkovici, as you said, did a nice job to avoid Myles Garrett upfield on the rush, and just was a little grab by the jersey. Davante Harris got too far inside, kind of reached and grabbed the jersey when the receiver was breaking back out, and a good call.
So first down by penalty for the Sun Devils out to the 33-yard line. Again, they have all their timeouts, but they need 2 touchdowns. Berkovici's going to have to eat this one. Got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. We'll call it 2nd down and 9 as he picked up a couple of feet on that scramble. Not going to pick up this one. Lost the ball. Still out. And it's covered by one of his linemen. But it was Deshaun Hall that made the hit on Berkovici.
Well, Deshaun Hall comes inside, works right by the guard, right up the middle to the quarterback. John Chavis said he's never had a pair better than this. Todd Graham said, we think we're going against the 2 best defensive ends that we'll face all year. I think they've seen enough of Myles Garrett and Deshaun Hall tonight.
That's the 6th sack of the night for the revamped Aggie defense of John Chavis. And there's the 2 guys that have raised all kinds of heck in the backfield. Number 10 and number 15. They might be wearing quarterback numbers, but they're quarterback killers right now.
And they run like receivers.
Yeah. Here's the schedule for the Aggies we talked about a little bit earlier. Ball State and Nevada next up. Arkansas, they took care of their business today, ranked 18th in the country. They were an easy winner. Mississippi State, 3rd ranked Alabama, number 17 Ole Miss, 6th ranked Auburn. They only have to go on the road 3 times, true road games, at Ole Miss, at Vandy, and at LSU So they don't leave the state of Texas very often, including the Arkansas lineup. Matchup is in Arlington. Whoa! Bercovici buried by Donovan Wilson. So if it isn't one of the defensive linemen, it's one of those safeties that come flying in there.
Well, again, this game swung to Texas A&M when they stuffed the run for the most part. Now they're able to dictate that Arizona State has to pass, and now they're getting creative with their pass rush.
They just forced the second timeout taken by the Sun Devils. They're down to 1. 7 sacks and a couple of takeaways tonight.
Credit to this defensive staff. We've talked about John Chavis a lot. Mark Hagan, the defensive tackles coach. Terry Joseph coaching the defensive backs. Terry Price coaching the defensive ends. I mean, they've been impressive tonight. Again, this has been the weak link of Texas A&M's team since joining the SEC. They've always been explosive on offense. Defense is where they've had some problems. Not tonight. This is a great start for the A&M defense.
You know, there's so many similarities. Auburn's so highly ranked, and they scored about 35, 36 points a game. So did A&M last year, but neither team could stop anybody. They each won 8 games. Everybody's expecting Auburn to be really, really good, and it's because of Will Muschamp. And now you look at Texas A&M, you say, wait a minute, they got John Chavis.
Yeah.
And they're a man short after a timeout. And it's Demario Richard who finally runs about 50 yards to get in the backfield with Bercovici. And the center judge, whoop, get out of there.
Wow.
And no whistle and an ugly looking play, and I don't know what was going on there.
Well, the only thing I can think of is because there was a substitution by Arizona State, the center judge was going to try to let Texas A&M have a chance to sub if they wanted, and he almost got overrun by Myles Garrett.
Bill LeMonnier is our man up in the booth. Bill, is that what was going on out there?
Actually, they should have shut the play down. They put in a new mechanic and a new rule this year that said if the center judge gets caught between the center and the back, shut it down, give a warning, and then if you do it after that, it's a 5-yard penalty. So he was fortunate that he didn't get run over on that.
Absolutely, because Myles Garrett wasn't going to slow down. My goodness.
That would have been great, huh? Center judge, how was your night? Well, Myles Garrett ran me over.
Do you think when John Chavis made the decision to leave LSU and come to Texas A&M, he had seen a little bit of film on these two defensive ends?
Yeah, probably.
Or had an idea what they were capable of?
Prior to the snap, Arizona State calls their final timeout of the half. 30 seconds.
I think another reason that another factor that he would look at is that they score 35 points a game, and he knows that he doesn't have to keep it to 17. That's not a shot to LSU, but you know what I'm talking about. That guy has been a human highlight film on defense.
Just speed, speed, athleticism. The crowd noise was in his favor. The lack of ability to use varying snap counts by the Arizona State offense. They had no chance. Even when they tried to assign more than one body to him, they had no chance of slowing him down.
And when he didn't get to somebody, it seemed like Deshaun Hall or maybe one of the safeties was going to do the damage because of the havoc that he wreaked in the backfield. Well, out of timeouts. Arizona State can't stop this thing now as A&M with 2:23 to go has a 14-point lead, and I guess what is going to be by a lot of people looked at as an upset. I don't agree with that. I expected them to win this game tonight with this crowd and being in their home state.
Well, and for Todd Graham, when you play a game like this, if you lose, it doesn't define your team. It doesn't define your season, and it doesn't derail either team from their main goals, which would be to win their league, to win their conference. And I think the interesting thing for Texas A&M will also be how they continue. They've been a fast starting team. They were 5-0 last year, and they killed South Carolina the first game in Columbia, and then the wheels came off midway through.
Well, they just wheeled in for another touchdown that just tops it off for Trey Carson from 10 yards out.
Trey Carson has been a stud tonight. I mean, he has run hard. 96 yards on 29 rushes. Nice job blocking on the inside, the right side of that Texas A&M offensive line.
That just took him over 1,000 rushing yards in his career. He needed 90 for 1,000. MVP of the Liberty Bowl last year and picked up where he left off. Todd mentioned that South Carolina game. He had 3 rushing touchdowns in that demolition to open up the season last year in Columbia. Bertolette's extra point makes it 38-17.
Watch the right side. Joseph Cheek, 79. Effetti, 74. And an easy touchdown. One of the easiest runs that Trey Carson's had all night.
Let's check in with Holly.
Well, guys, keep in mind, because of the injury midway through the second quarter to James White, the backup running back, Trey Carson has had to play every single snap except for one from that point forward. He has been the only running back on the field in the second half. This kid has put in a monstrous performance tonight, and he sweated through his pants. Everybody else's pants are white. His are about clear, but he still had the energy to run in for that touchdown. Super impressed with his endurance tonight, having to carry a heavy load.
There's his career now, 1,006. And adding a touchdown just moments ago. Let's put this thing way out of reach. Arizona State has no timeouts left, and they have no chance remaining with that much time. Texas A&M, you think they did pretty good in the fourth quarter? How about 164 yards and 3 touchdowns? You know, they outscored their opponents in the fourth quarter last year in overtime and the fourth quarter 116-54. So they're picking up where they left off, with the fourth quarter being one of their best. Arizona State, we talked about their schedule a little bit earlier. Cal Poly, New Mexico, and then hello Trojans and hello Bruins. Both ranked in the top 15. So as Todd said, this one's going to sting, but it is not the end of the campaign.
No, not at all.
Especially if they can take care of business on their side of the Pac-12, meaning USC, UCLA, and their arch rivals Arizona. Bercovici throws on the run, completes it, tiptoeing out of bounds as Ellis Jefferson.
We're going to get back to A&M, and just as where they go from here, and once they get into their SEC schedule, you know, they got beat up when they played Arkansas last year in Arlington. They play them again in Arlington about the same time of the season, maybe a little earlier this year. They won the game in overtime, but they really kind of lost the war because they got beat up physically the way that Arkansas plays. That forced Kevin Sumlin and his staff. They did some rethinking in the offseason, how they wanted to train, how they wanted to practice. And they're implementing some new things. They're switching their Thursday, Friday routine a little bit. They're more emphasis on their recovery training, recovery work in the weight room and with stretching. And at least for the first night, it's paid off.
Kevin said to us with that Arkansas game, he said he could tell when the kids got off the bus after the game, and then especially on Sunday and Monday to follow. Said we won the game, but Arkansas won the war. Everybody was limping. This is going to be an impressive victory, though. Defense, front four is really good.
They are. They really are. And played without a couple key guys tonight.
Yep. Most of this crowd that was heavily in favor of Texas A&M, even though it's considered a neutral game, they're sticking around to enjoy it. The Sun Devil faithful might be walking out of here, but the Aggie fans aren't. Flag down, might have been Evan Goodman with a false start again. He's had 2 or 3. He's had a rough night.
Offense, number 57, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Evan will have better games somewhere down the line, but tonight he's been matched up with some dudes that he couldn't handle. And those guys aren't even in there right now. He's just a tired guy. Final minute 13 Bercovici stands in, fires, nice throw. Not a first down, but close to it. Ellis Jefferson got 13.
Brandon Williams still in there. We've talked about him a lot tonight. Moved from running back to corner this summer. A starter, a defensive captain. Still kind of learning how to play the position.
Bercovici trying a back shoulder throw, and it was intended for Jefferson, and there's pretty good coverage by the guy you're just talking about, Brandon Williams.
Nice job using the sideline as his advantage, as his teammate. Being physical at the line of scrimmage.
We mentioned at the top of the show the toughness of the divisions of the conferences of these two teams. The Pac-12 and the SEC considered by just about everybody the two best conferences right now. And this is the only matchup of Pac-12 and SEC teams in the regular season. And there's another sack. And Donovan Wilson is there with Jake Blunt.
Well, again, Texas A&M at this point is not worried at all about the running game. They're just going hard for the quarterback. And it's a tired offensive front for Arizona State at this point.
Could be the final offensive snap. Bercovici, deep sideline, incomplete. Intended for Jefferson, and again it was Brandon Williams. And we're one snap away from ending this one. Now you hear the Aggie faithful giving them one last round of applause. Texas A&M defense, it's been the last 2 years much maligned. They hold a Power 5 opponent to less than 20 points for the first time since the Cotton Bowl of 2012. I want that guy on my team.
Oh boy.
Oh, there you go. They got the guns working. Looked a lot like you there, Ledge.
Oh yeah, right.
So one snap, and it'll be 38-17.
Please reset the clock to 5. How many?
I disagree with you, Reggie. The game is over. You just have to put seconds back on the clock.
After a change of position.
So Kyle Allen, who rebounded nicely from being taken out of the game, ends up being one of the stars of the game. Takes a knee. Kevin Sumlin's Aggies are 1-0. Arizona State, the number 15 team in the country, won't be number 15 on Monday. So an impressive win for the Aggies to open up the season. 38-17 is the final score here in Houston.